to Beer and Wings.
Beer and Wings. We are back.
Do you want Black Ops 6?
I want it. It went away.
Okay.
I mean,
You advertised it.
In
the middle of this. So
Not
we're
doing
now
that.
sponsored by. No, that'd be nice. That would be a very, very nice. Yeah.
Love it. Episode 7 is officially here. This
Yes.
is the one that we've long awaited for.
Is it? Okay. Yeah.
Magical number 7.
Yeah.
But I want to say welcome back to Seth, the crafty one. He is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, my fault. Hello again.
He's here with us, man. Came back in just in time, one day before his birthday. So.
The one before 29, or well, no, 20. The one before 30, 29. That's what I meant to say.
I turned 29 this year as well.
I do too.
No.
Yeah.
We are vastly the same age.
Yeah, vastly.
No, but happy birthday to you, dude. I know it's one day early, but very, very happy birthday to you, man. Love you much, and glad you could be here today, too. Seriously.
Man, I'm happy to be here again, man. It's always a good time. Just eating some wings, drinking some beer.
Yeah.
Beer and wings.
So I mean, it's hard to complain about. Did you have a good time last time you were here?
Oh yeah, no, it was fun. Had great conversations.
Oh yeah.
I wish we could have talked a little bit more about some of the things that we were talking about.
Oh yeah.
Maybe we should just do one like off camera or off podcast one time. Just go out and have some. We
Some
can get
beer
like
and wings.
a little bit more. It's not going to be on the internet
Yeah.
forever.
I have beer and wings every opportunity I get in this lifetime.
Amen.
I will. I put photo evidence out there now. I'm just like, here
But
I
is
am
it
eating beer
always
and wings.
Angela's wings?
No. Never mind. The Angel's wings were delicious,
Dude, they're again the best wings that I've ever had.
yeah, for sure they were. But before we get too far in, guys, we're gonna do a 1 and a 2 and a 3.
There it is.
There it is, guys. It's official. We have officially cracked the seal in this episode. What was I was going to say something.
First of all, thank you guys.
Oh, yes, thank you. Yeah,
Thank
that's
you guys
always nice to say.
for everything. We're still doing it because we're still getting support.
Yeah,
So,
we've
we do the thing.
gained some followers on Spotify,
Mhm.
YouTube. It hasn't hit the Star Wars episode
Yeah.
level of insanity, but there's been some views on YouTube as well. So mixed crowds. You've got two different
Just wait
platforms.
till September when Tolkien Week comes around and we do a Lord of the Rings episode.
We will actually dress as
I'll
the
do
Lord of
it.
the Rings
I'll do
characters.
that. I'm short. I'll dress like a hobbit and I'll leave my feet exposed because they're hairy. So
See, I love it. You're just telling it all, man.
Yeah.
A visual
I don't
moment
have
here.
anything to hide, brother.
We are going to have a couple of moments on this episode where there will be video. It'll be on YouTube, probably in shorts, because we have one of our listeners crafted a beer, not crafted, bought a beer specifically for Zach. You have to try it too, but
course.
specifically for Zach. They wanted to see, not just hear, they wanted to see your reaction because they thought, because you cry about the ciders all the time, and they said, I think Zach would like
I
this.
just don't like sweet beers, man.
It's not a sweet beer.
Okay.
So
I like the dark beers mainly.
you might like this
That's
one.
what everyone. So when everyone.
You guys might like this one.
I'm not a fan of dark beer.
You
No,
won't
I-
like this one.
I drink,
It's a darker.
I drink Guinness. That's like my personal choice all the time. Once in a while, I'll drink Guinness Blonde or whatever it is, the lighter, the amber one. But
Yeah.
and then I'll drink some. I will drink like Samuel Adams, and some of the Samuel Adams is lighter, and then some of it's darker. So
See, I don't like Sam Adams at all. I've
Well,
tried it. I don't like it.
Oktoberfest is coming up, so you
No.
better just get over it.
Well, I will be drinking my ciders.
See, I like Yingling.
Yingling's not bad.
It's just the traditional amber lager. It's not bitter. It's not sweet. It's just kind of like a, hey man, you're gonna get drunk if you drink this. So,
If you drink enough of these,
Yep.
things might happen.
You keep downing them, it's gonna happen.
Yeah, the Yinglings I like. Doesn't Yingling make a cider too? I'm pretty
I think
sure
I've
they.
seen something.
I think
I
they
know
do.
Bud Light does now, and a lot of the big name ones that didn't before just did regular stuff. Now they use
It's
ciders.
because they're good for you.
Well, you can say what you want.
Sound real.
Ale's good for you. Cider ale.
Yeah,
I
cures
guess.
your ailments. So
Oh, okay. Yeah.
that's how.
Don't
they. Yeah.
Don't let him lie.
Yeah. No, but we do
went
have
to
some
school
wings.
for fitness and nutrition. He's lying, dude.
We have another surprise because it is Seth's first time. Yes, we are taking his wings. I'll leave it at that. We're going to introduce him to the eruption, and that will also be videoed as well. If
That's
that's
what I was
okay with you.
curious about before we started. Like, I thought we were doing a YouTube live.
I was going to try to do YouTube, but then when he raised a good question of how are we going to record it and then have it going at the same time as this and it not be weird. And then I thought about going TikTok live. And I may go TikTok live for part of it anyway.
Yeah.
But
what they don't know is when we record in the Bug Girl studio, every time we record over here, we're using a laptop.
Yeah.
And so a laptop's fine. The issue that we run into there is like RAM and processing power to do a live stream while recording audio on a separate program and things like that.
Which I could go TikTok live from my phone.
I was going to say, like, the PC up there definitely probably helps with that, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Multiple things at once.
Yeah, except for Overwatch for whatever reason. I can't.
I know what
I
to
think
do.
you just hate, I think you just hate that game.
No,
he does.
I haven't.
He does because I've told him several times how to fix it because I've done this for years. I know how to fix it. I know the exact problem. Told him how to fix it. And at first, to be fair, TikTok Studio wouldn't let him do the first fix that I had for it, which was disabling your stream preview. And some people don't want to disable the stream preview because they want to see what the people are seeing. And that's fair because you want to make sure things look good.
Yeah.
I just pop it up on my phone so I can check there because sometimes some games are more CPU intensive or GPU intensive or this or that, and having it being displayed to you to play and then displayed secondarily over here lowers frame rate on one of those two things, and you're getting the problem on the stream. And I told him, but disabling that or just lowering the graphics will help.
But I don't. It's weird. Maybe it's TikTok Live Studio being a little bit more RAM intensive than OBS because in OBS
it's way more.
Is it
CPU
okay?
intensive.
Because OBS I had no issue. Like I could live stream on YouTube no problem
OBS
while
will
it was
tell you it's
DVRing it and the whole 9 yards. So
yeah, OBS will tell you it's like 1 to 2% like CPU or whatever, and then even my computer and my dual streaming setup. So my game's not even going through the same computer that my streaming stuff is. Anytime I do live studio, it'll be like your CPU is overloading or this or that. I'm like, no, it's not.
calm down. Yeah, it's I don't know. I miss Overwatch. I miss the times because that's a game that I love playing with Lexi too. That's a game she actually likes to play, and she's pretty good at.
She carries all the time. Like I'll play tank or something on there, man, and like I'll never die.
Mm-hmm.
Like when I play by myself, I die, here and there.
Yeah.
20 kills or something, 5 deaths, 6 or 7.
Mm.
I literally will die like once while Lexi's playing support. It's like it's ludicrous.
Yeah, she is really good. I know we ran at one point. It was me. Like you were on at that point,
Probably.
And was it Austin playing? Yeah, I think Austin was playing with you. Weren't on with us that time, but man, we were steamrolling, dude. We were doing really, really well. Just the communication, everybody working well. I mean, I love Overwatch. It is a good game.
Now they have Overwatch Stadium on there as well, like the Stadium mode or something.
I hate Overwatch. I hate stadiums. I don't. No. It's a great game. I love the character development. Torby will always go down as my favorite character, even though they've nerfed the stew out of him. I love Torby. He just, I don't know. If I was a character in Overwatch, I would be Torbjorn.
Torbjorn,
ready
to work. That's pretty good.
My baby. Yeah, I love Torby. He's just so great. But who's your favorite character on Overwatch?
I was Mercy main, dude. So when the game first came out, playing PS4.
Yeah.
And we were excited, me and my friends, because we were putting a solid team of people together when the game first dropped on PS4. And Blizzard were actually willing to do console based like tournaments and stuff as well in esports, not just PC like most games do with shooters and stuff. They were going to focus on consoles and stuff too, so we were like, oh cool, let's put a team together, this and that. So I was a Mercy main. I was actually top 500 within the first few months, and for the first few months I stayed top 500 Mercy. And then I switched to PC later, and that kind of took me down a little bit because I had to get used to PC because that's when I started playing PC shooters. So but now it's still Mercy for the most part. I'll play Zenyatta as kind of my backup support.
Okay.
If I play DPS, I've always been a soldier dude, but that's because Call of Duty and Apex, I used to make money from playing Apex tournaments. I'm big into just shooting things. So.
Soldier 76 is pretty rad too. Yeah. I agree.
And then I don't play any tanks.
No.
I am a horrible tank. I know I am. I've been a horrible tank on MMOs. I'm a horrible tank on games like that.
I'm a good tank on
I just,
MMOs.
I'm not a tank. I can support all day. I can DPS all day. But
I can't. Well, unless I Diva. If I run Diva, I'm pretty good with Diva.
Yeah.
I'm not great with Diva, but that of all of the tanks, either her Reinhardt and his name, those two
Yeah.
are probably two of my favorites. But
Yeah.
Diva, I love Diva too.
Right.
She's a lot of fun. What about you? No tanks for you though. You're
No,
not,
no
I'm not your
tanks.
tank.
I'm a tank main.
Yeah.
So like in Overwatch 1, my favorite was Zarya, because you had 2 tanks. So
Yeah.
typically you'd have like a Ryan or a whatever. But now in Overwatch 2, it's Reinhardt.
Yeah.
He
I
is
like
good.
to swing the hammer
They
down.
sped him up a little bit with his attacks.
Oh
didn't
yeah,
they?
no. I'll charge the boost in there and just start swinging the hammer.
Whoosh,
Then
whoosh.
you
Yeah.
know, yep.
He does. That was
It's really,
whoosh sound effect.
I will say Reinhardt is a really good one to play mouse and keyboard because when you click to attack and swing his hammer, you move the mouse too.
Yep.
And it's just a little easier than control stick or whatever. So you
Yeah.
just be swinging that freaking thing. Used to on Overwatch 1 for a while there was like a meta where people would like turn their DPI way up when they played Reinhardt, so that when they swing, they just like
You get
spin.
the whole circle.
Yeah, they spin the
basically.
mouse and just be anyone like surrounding them, trying to get behind the
That's
shield.
pretty cool.
They just be hitting them.
Well, that makes sense to his character too. That kind of does.
Yeah. Well, you
so,
remind me
tank
of,
main.
Yep.
Whirlwind Barb. Or
That's what I was going to
something,
say.
a little
Something from
bit.
Diablo.
I
Yeah.
mean, I can play anybody really. Like there's only like a few characters like Symmetra. I'm not really great
Right.
with, but like I can play pretty much anybody. But
Yeah.
my favorite character is to
Yeah.
get in there, swing that hammer.
That's very cool. See, so what we're doing is we're forming a group.
Yeah, I was about to say we have a team.
This is happening
what
right
we
now.
said was we have
Um,
the team because I can't do tank. We've got a tank.
Yep, and I love DPS in the game. I'm not the greatest healer at all. I'm okay with Lucio
Yeah.
on heals. Depending on the map, I'm okay with Lucio.
Well, he's a nice utility healer because you don't have to worry about healing necessarily. He
Right.
just does it in the vicinity.
Yeah, so
I like the
AOE.
control point maps with Lucio, where you're like hiding behind the walls
And then
the
push
whole
him
team's
in.
like, boom. It's like, yeet.
Yeah, he's a lot of fun. So
It's definitely the way to do
bye.
it.
Yeah, he's Lucio's a lot of fun. And then what's the other healer that I like?
There's a bunch.
Oh, the whole gang is cutting through, guys.
Mercy, Zenyatta, Brig,
Zenyatta,
Lucio.
I like Zenyatta on Overwatch 1. I did not like Zenyatta on Overwatch 2, but I get wrecked by
I was about
Zenyatta.
to say I can
It's like,
I can use him. I can do him.
And I'm dead. And I'm just like,
Yeah.
what the heck just happened, man?
No, it's my favorite thing on Overwatch 2 to know, like, especially at the beginning of the game, hide around a corner or something where you know the enemy team's going to come out their door, but be far enough away they can't get the easy heals, and charge it up, and then as soon as you see one of the squishy, like, small, like, DPS or healers or
Yeah.
something, unload on them, and then it's just done immediately. So it's just immediately holding them back for an extra however long.
He is pretty good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I'm mainly DPS, and then Lex is good on heals.
Yeah, she likes Mercy and Moira.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Mercy-
Moira's the one that.
Mercy and Moira are
Moira's one I like a lot.
Mercy and Moira constantly stay like top tier, like healers. Everyone argues that Mercy isn't sometimes, but it's like she's still steady healed, has a
Yeah.
res, and it has a lot of mobility. Like
Her
it's-
res is nasty too.
Yeah.
It is.
I
The
miss.
fact that you could do like the whole team.
Yeah, just
like,
wow, everybody's back.
that was
You-
the ultimate. It was
Yeah.
nuts.
You
Yeah.
can't do that anymore, but
Can't?
You can only do one.
Yeah, you haven't been able to do that since.
I remember when you could
halfway-
heal the whole
yeah.
team, but
You know?
Yeah.
I don't play Mercy though.
Well,
I'm not good with her.
you could only do that in Overwatch 1 until about halfway through the
Really?
lifespan of Overwatch, and they changed it.
I remember
There,
when
too.
you could. Did she
It
have
was
a
like,
group
it was like
heal now?
season 1 they nerfed her.
Yeah, it was very early that they
Wow.
nerfed her because
Maybe. How do I remember that? I do remember that.
Bastion had like
It
a
was early.
DPS shield or like a shield in
yeah,
front of
early
him.
on, yeah, he had
Like
shield.
super early, like in the alpha or beta, he had like a DPS shield, like a Rhine
Yeah.
shield. So you turtle up with a Bastion turret
Wow.
and have also shield, and you could heal yourself. So it was like, yeah, this is.
He is good. I like Bastion too.
Bastion's always
They've
cool,
kind
too.
of changed him a little bit. He's not horrible at all. I will switch to him like I'm getting my ass kicked on Torby or whatever. I'll switch over to Bastion or whatnot. Or if the group needs a healer, I'll hop on Lucio or
Right.
something. But
what kind of beers are we drinking today, man?
I'm hitting that Red's Wicked Apple currently. What you got there?
I got whenever you had Red's Hard Apple.
Yep.
I got one of those from your fridge.
Red's Hard Apple and
It mixed in between the Red's Hard Apple and the Green Apple Angry Orchard.
Yeah.
It's kind of a little 50-50 split, I guess.
kind of nice. And those were actually, I had not had that one before. Surprisingly, I love Angry Orchard. It's a good cider, but I had not had the green apple. It's actually
Lex
really
put
good.
me on. She's like, "Hey, if you like those reds, just try the green apple one time." And
Yeah.
sure enough, you
It's-
got a 6-pack of
There it
them,
is.
and they're delightful.
They're really good. It's got a very good taste to it.
There you go, man.
And then wings should be momentarily, which again we will be videoing your sampling.
I'm gonna,
of the.
I'm telling you, like maybe it'll be hot, but
Yeah.
like I'm probably gonna face it, and you guys are gonna be like, you
I
are
thought
a
that
maniac.
I thought that too because I used to put the Last Dab, the hottest hot sauce from Hot Ones. I think I had the Last Dab Redux, so it was like the hottest after they made the hottest already. And I'm sure they have a hotter one now because it constantly gets crazier. But I used to put it on my pizza and everything I always ate, so I was so used to spice. And then I've stopped for a while though, to be fair, and so my tolerance for it's probably down a little. And then I also though came into the eruption like I love spicy stuff. That's not gonna I guarantee it might make me hiccup or a little here and there just because my throat's already got issues and stuff. But I was like, it'll be what it is what it is. And then I had them and I was like, oh okay. And I was like, never mind.
Did you
is
listen
it-
to the episode where we went into full panic?
So those are these wings
I brought them
Yeah,
for you. Yeah.
at the Rock. You got it from Rock
Did you
House?
tell them it was
Oh,
beer
okay.
and wings ordering them?
Yeah, I told him. Well, I told him it
no.
was Matt with beer and wings. So she was
Oh,
like,
no.
"Okay, Matt." What did she say? "Okay, love." That's what she
Yeah.
says, and I was like, I didn't catch her name. It was not the usual
Yeah.
lady, but she was super
Oh,
sweet.
so these are like really hot. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Looking forward to it.
we have
Yeah.
a strict belief that they're not supposed to be as hot as
I've
they
had
are.
them before, and they're like, "Whew, they're hot." Those
Yeah.
those were some hot wings.
And then we had them on the podcast.
The reaction I had on the podcast, it was
Yeah.
like they were like a little dab of this, a little extra of that.
Yeah,
and
they-
it was-
I
wonder what
think
the
they're
Scoville level
sabotaging
is.
us.
I don't know, but that they did tell me that when they cook them, they run fans for the cooks because it like they tear up everything else, and I'm just like, wow.
I mean, it
that's-
makes sense. I mean, especially if it's. I mean, you get over like 500,000 Scoville.
Yeah.
I mean, I know there's
Yeah,
stuff
that's
out there that's
right.
like 3 million. It's like, yeah, that's ridiculous.
Well,
But-
there's levels of Scoville that like once you hit that level, it doesn't matter what your tolerance is. You're still gonna your body's still
You're
going
gonna
to you're
react.
gonna get the
Yeah,
tears.
for
you're
sure.
gonna get this and stuff. So it's like, and I hate that because when I was really like used to spice, people would give me spicy stuff, and my eyes would still tear up, or I'd hiccup or this or that. But I'd be like, yeah, it's alright or whatever, and they'd be like, oh, you're just playing or whatever. I was like, yeah, I'm fine with it. I was like, my body is still going to react
Yeah.
because they'd be like, well, you're crying. I'm like, yes,
It's because it's hot, dude. I'm not saying it's
I'm
not
not
hot.
lying to you, dude. I know my eyes are crying. They're my eyes.
That's that was like when you ate Angela's pepper too. At first, it was
Yeah, the first one was nothing.
And
And
then-
then you thought
So-
it was because I ate it really quick. I went back and looked at it. I chewed it roughly the same I chewed it the
Did
second
you?
time. You guys just thought it because I went through it so quick that I swallowed it or
Is the
something.
eruption wings hotter than Angela's peppers?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Okay,
Angela's peppers are hot.
they were hot. Yeah,
Yeah,
but,
but-
I don't think I teared up from those or anything. I was just like,
Yeah, It's like, yeah. There was a point on on that episode where my spit got thick as a reaction to the heat.
Yeah.
Sweet.
And I turned around because I was trying not to laugh at this fool melting down over here. He was like, "Oh my god, what?" Oh, you know,
it
he's
hit me out of nowhere.
hyperventilating.
Because there's half a second or so before the heat really gets like. That's what I don't like about the eruption wings is they're hot when you taste them, and then there's like half a second or so, and then they're hotter. And
Yes.
it's like, oh no!
and when you breathe, it just
How many did you get?
Yeah, it's like oxygen. it's
we
like
did
fire.
a large order because they were
we
half
did.
price
We did
that
way
week.
too many.
We
that
got a
day,
large.
for
No,
sure.
I mean like this go around. You got like.
I got enough for like 2 or 3 each for
Okay.
us. So
oh, y'all are gonna do it with me.
yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah. I mean, no,
Yeah.
we go down with the ship, bro.
I told Matt with as rough as my week has been, I was like, you just want me to suffer. You just want me to continue to suffer. I see how it
Let
is.
the suffering continue. But we'll have those wings here in just a little bit. We've what was I was going to say something earlier and I forgot. Oh, I was going to tell you. I talked to we talked early on, like episode 1-ish. We talked about. Yep. Hey, we just got the thumbs up from my beautiful bride, letting us know that the wings are about to be here. So she is awesome. That's Chef Angela.
And Jolu.
She is bringing the wingy thingy.
Why are we doing Italian? This is Italian, but
I don't, if I did this, I'd be praying mantis or
Yeah,
something. I don't
yeah,
know,
yeah.
but
you gotta fake smoke it like a really long cigarette
yeah,
to be
like a
French.
coffee straw with like one little.
Yeah.
That's Connor
Connor
from
Las Vegas Reptiles.
Las Vegas Reptiles. Seth, extending the invite, dude. If you would like to come on this episode, this guy's bringing possibly an anaconda,
Sick.
All kinds of ball pythons, boas, all this. Possibly even his cobra. So
Hell.
I don't know if I'd hold a cobra.
it's a false water cobra.
Okay.
It's still massive.
Is it venomous?
It has a level of venomousness.
Just
I'll
just
hold
enough to-
venomous snakes. It's just
Yeah.
like I'm not trying to go to the hospital. Like if I've got to work tomorrow, type deal.
Do you want to be off work tomorrow, dude?
Yeah.
We're gonna hold a cobra.
It's enough that it'll keep you out of work tomorrow, but not enough that you need to go to the hospital. It's
Yeah.
that
I
mid-range.
don't feel so good.
It's
I
that
got bit by a
mid-range
cobra.
venom. It's like, oh,
But
dang, there it goes.
I don't know if he's gonna bring. Like he has lychee geckos, which are those massive geckos, the largest gecko actually. I don't know if he's going to bring those, but he has those. He's got all kinds of critters, and he runs Zoo to You is a company that he does, and he does children's parties and corporate events and all this. He shows up with all of his zoo. He brings it with him to these places, but he is the owner of Russ Vegas Reptiles. He breeds snakes and all this kind of stuff. He's a super cool guy.
That's hilarious. I grew up in the Clarksville, Russellville area,
Yeah.
and we call Russellville Russ Vegas. And now he opened up a business and says Russ Vegas Reptiles.
Yeah.
Russ Vegas Reptiles.
Yep.
Yeah, he's super cool. Hopefully he'll bring us some swag. He's got some cool T-shirts and stuff like that. That'd be really cool if he would do that. Hint, hint, Connor, if you're listening, bro.
Yeah.
But
Before we get into the wings, do you want to make me suffer with this beer?
oh yes, I'll need to video this one. So
Okay. I mean, I can grab them.
oh okay.
No.
So-
is it these on the right?
So yeah, hold on. I'll start recording here. We're just gonna zoom in on it. Wait.
See, the fact that he wants the video,
Dirty bastard.
record it.
Malty sweetness.
You said something about Dirty Bastard, and I looked it up, and I was like, that seems fine, but
So you will probably need a bottle top popper on that one, but
Scotch style ale, rich caramel notes. See, I'm worried about that because I hate caramel.
and we gotta give a shout out. Look at the new dew on the Zag.
I've
Woo!
had it before, but
Yeah, it looks
Returning
new. It's
dew.
new now.
Yeah. What
Oh,
the?
it smells nice.
What is this bottle opener, dude?
What? The fact that you're recording is like.
yeah, no, I was
Well,
because they
fine.
can't be here and they wanted to see
I
the.
see. I'm. He wants to record it, and that makes
So
it scary.
who's going first? I want to record.
Let's do it at the same time,
You're
yeah.
back up here. Okay. All right, gents.
No.
I mean, it's definitely bitter.
Yeah, that's too much. That's too bitter, dude.
What does it taste like to you?
It's not bad though.
No?
I mean, it's like not the worst
It-
beer I've ever had.
It's like a weird flavor of like wasabi in there.
See, I tried one.
Not spicy, but like the flavor of wasabi or something in there, dude.
Dirt and leaves is what it tasted like to me. Like I was drinking liquid dirt, and
Yeah.
it was just.
This is an Indian beer? No.
God dang, you said
I'm
it
sorry.
last night too.
So, Jason and Haven, we thank you guys.
I figured that.
They,
I figured that.
they are the bringers of the Dirty Bastard, and yeah. So, what do you guys think on a scale of 1 to 10? What do you give the Dirty Bastard?
3?
3? Okay.
One.
1. Yep. Not fans, man. Not fans. All right. Anyway, that was the Dirty Bastard experience.
Someone else can have my grass.
It tastes like dirt, dude. Oh my god.
I hate it.
But they were like, "Why don't you try it, sir? So you can have it on the show, sir." And I was like, "Oh, okay." And I was like, me and
Yeah, 'cause
Angela
he always
split
calls you
one,
sir.
and I was just like,
Where the classics never go out of style and the legends arise.
No, that's not true. That's not classic or legendary in
Mm-mm.
any way.
maybe in a bad way. I don't know.
Oh my! What the?
Someone
I
online
shouldn't say that, but
Someone online said in a review that it tastes like a hard root beer, but that's not true.
Mm-mm.
no.
Because I love root beer.
It
if this were
hardly
a hard
tastes like root beer.
Root beer is
There
my
you go.
favorite soda.
Yeah,
root beer's
for sure.
great. You have a root beer here, I think.
I don't drink root beer very often because it's like one of the highest ones of sugar and stuff. But
First
I
line
love
of
root
this: the beer that put us on the map.
no, it should.
There's a lot of places on the map, like Djibouti.
Scotland.
You don't want to go to Djibouti, you know. So it's
yeah.
no, but
It's Scotch style ale. But here's the thing. So I don't know if they're talking about Scotch style ale as in like Scottish, or if they're talking Scotch because it's supposed to taste like Scotch. Because it certainly doesn't taste like Scotch. Because I like Scotch.
it's like pureed leaves and dirt
It's bad, dude.
and sadness.
It's really
But
bad. It's
all
really
kidding
crazy if I
aside,
drink something that makes me want to wash it down with cider that I hate.
I'm gonna drink some beta water
Yeah.
over there. But no, Jason, he's a character, man. You've got to meet Jason.
He's
He's
cool dude.
super super cool dude.
Was,
But he
was he not at your wedding?
no,
Oh, okay.
they worked that day, I think.
Yeah, they
I thought
did.
there was a Jason at your wedding.
I think
That's a different Jason.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
me and Alyssa came
Yeah.
to your wedding, and then
So,
Um,
but
a lot of
you'll have to
people-
meet Jason at some point.
For sure.
Super cool dude. His wife Haven. They've got a wonderful little family, man.
put
Their
that back
kiddos
on
are
and
great.
resell it or something
Yeah.
at a store.
I want to
I mean,
watch
I'm
Jason
gonna
drink
finish
this.
it. I
one.
mean, I'm
Oh
not
my
gonna let
God.
it go. But
I'm certainly. You can have mine if you want.
no, I think the one and done is like I always say.
No,
like
that's-
I always, he's never said that
it
around here.
is disgusting. I can't drink those.
Someone else can just
They're horrible.
think that.
But that is not the first horrible beer that or drink that Jason has brought us. Every
Oh.
flavor gets a little bit closer to
Oh, I
tasting
thought
like
you were
true
saying there was
ass
another one.
that he
Okay.
brings us. He
Yeah,
had
there was.
the orange one smelled
Whoa.
good. It was the
It
goat.
did smell really
It
good.
was the
yeah.
goat,
Something
and
like
we
that.
smelled of it. I was like,
What was that, episode
Okay.
2 or 3? 2, 3, or 4?
Four.
Was
it was
that with
four.
Star Wars?
It was 5. No, shoot, I don't remember. We can go back and
I
listen.
think
but
Joe was with us.
was Joe? Yeah, was Joe? Whoop.
I don't know.
Oh.
Okay, welcome to your phone call is breaking up podcast.
That was my impression of Verizon, letting you know. But
Karate
no.
Kid, beer and wings.
Dang song. I don't know what that was, but
Oh, yeah, that was it.
that was my Mr. Miyagi saying
Oh, was
Daniel
that?
song. Yeah.
Daniel.
Johnny Bravo.
Oh yeah. Whoa, mama. Yeah.
Whoa,
I love
I like that.
Hey, pretty little lady.
Oh man.
But no, Jason, the orange, good smelling beer tasted horrible, and then there was this really cool can, looked like a female Mega Man on the outside. It was a blue
Looked
raspberry
really cool.
sour or
I was
something.
excited for it. I was like, dude,
And,
this looks like something I'd get.
Yeah, I
for
was
him.
like, heck yeah, I'm keeping the can.
Yeah, and
we,
then it was awful.
Instantly stank, and it was like, that doesn't
Yeah,
smell
so-
anything like blue or raspberry.
Yeah,
and then
it was
we,
bad.
you tasted it. It tasted like, I guess it had a hint of raspberry because it was like if you took a raspberry
It had a
and
hint
like
of something I wanted
soaked
to
it or
throw away.
boiled it in Vienna sausage juice and then drank it.
That sounds absolutely
That is-
vile.
I kid you not.
That's
As soon as it
awful.
hit your tongue, you were like, ugh, you just wanted to spit it right back out. But he's
How do-
topped it. He's
How do
topped
people
it.
make a business out of stuff like that? I mean, like people
I-
will literally drink alcohol for anything.
Yeah.
I will say those beers took a second for me to hate. Or no, I'm having it backwards. Those years did not take a second for me to hate. Like I hated them as soon as I tasted them. This beer took me a second. At first, it kind of had the dark taste that I like, and I was like, okay. And then then it went downhill fast, and I was like, never mind. Oh Lord! So what do we have here, man? With the wings, getting the wings.
Oh, we have Chef Angela.
Angela.
Oh man, I can smell them.
No, she's bringing them to us. So which ones are these the eruption?
Thank you, thank
No,
you.
that-
No,
no,
that's,
I can
it's-
tell you
I
right
can
now that's
smell
not
it
the
from
eruption,
here.
brother.
Little ranchy ranch.
Yeah, we don't want this in our
Ranch.
eyes or on our fingers, so
You
good
need
looking
to
out.
you need to mass produce the homemade ranch. So we can
Okay,
just have
so
that
those are
every
the
time.
eruptions. So you want to start with the cashmere?
I mean, sure.
Is this,
Okay.
So this is cashmere.
This is cashmere.
These are like level like.
They're not hot.
Yeah, like
They're a
1 or 2 or
Korean
something
sweet
like that.
barbecue.
Yeah.
Little bit of heat, not much.
No ranch.
Spears
I
up,
won't, I
gentlemen.
won't do it this time.
I
Yep,
love
These are really, really good.
Korean barbecue.
Oh my god.
That's not good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Mm.
I like that. I can do that every day.
Yeah.
I can do that every single day.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, that's
Dude, it's bad, dude.
so the cashmere. We need a video. You're gonna video, Autumn? Will you video for us? Yeah.
We brought the.
You can use my phone if you want, or you can use yours either way. So here is the eruption.
Look at them. Dude.
Woo,
They
Lord.
don't look appealing.
They look like that's gonna hurt me later.
Yeah, they will.
They
Let
will
me tell
definitely
that
hurt
next,
you.
That next day was worse for me than the day I ate them. I think. Oh my god.
No baby bites either, buddy.
I know, man.
Get that real big one that's all juicy,
This one?
staring at you.
Ugh.
I can.
Ah.
I'm not gonna lie.
Dude.
I'm like really excited to eat one of these.
We do them before.
I
Oh my gosh,
didn't want to come here and suffer today,
That smells
bro! It is,
vinegary.
dude. And here's my problem. And I rated the eruption wings very low. And it's not because I don't like Rockhouse wings or anything, and I don't mean anything harsh against them. But there's no good flavor with these wings. It's just spice. It's just heat.
it is hot.
And I hate it because it's like there's no use in this wing, dude. Like this, who's eating this?
The devil, gentleman, spears up.
God dang it!
The
You have
health
to
and
eat the whole
wealth.
thing,
Yep.
or-
Put the whole thing. Come on.
Yeah, you gotta do the whole thing, man.
Here it is.
Yeah. Oh.
No way.
Yeah, give me that.
No way, Seth.
Oh.
I mean, they're a little warm.
Oh. Oh. Hiccuping. Oh. Oh.
It's not getting you. I am impressed.
I hate it.
It's definitely hot.
Yeah.
Paper towel.
Well, you gotta get about that time.
Oh. Oh my.
Yeah.
Even on those tears.
Yeah.
This is where I died last time. No. Oh.
We have an audience. Yeah.
We have an audience.
Oh. Dude. Satan made those.
That's hot.
Have a paper towel.
Yeah.
Oh my word.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh,
God, I hate
They're
it.
definitely hot. It's like now that it's like sat there for a minute.
I need to spit. Hold on, I'll be right back.
Lexi about passed out. She accidentally had some. Who went?
Yeah.
I lost mine.
Whew.
I hate it.
I had to get a second one because the first one I don't feel was coated enough.
That's horrible.
It's so hot. You want to try one?
I tried the sauce.
Oh.
It's not a whole wing.
It killed me.
One of the hotter wings you've ever had?
It's definitely warm. It's not the hottest I've ever had. Probably second hottest.
Oh my word.
Oh God, dang.
When does it chill out?
It doesn't. It doesn't. That's the problem.
It keeps getting more intense for a little bit. Oh.
Let me get a
That's
sip
not
of that milk.
fair. They don't have milk.
Well, I got ranch.
Drink the ranch.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Oh.
Oh.
I hate that, dude.
I can tell.
It's hot.
I mean, it's definitely hot.
I stuck my finger in it. Angela was like, it's really hot. And I put it on my tongue immediately. I was like, you did not tell me it was that hot. And I about to and
Yeah.
almost passed out. It was so hot.
Got some snot coming out there, brother.
We talked about reactions.
Whew. Dude,
His veins popping in the side
Yeah.
of his head.
that's horrible.
Whew.
Tell me right now it doesn't just taste like ass, though.
Well, it didn't taste
I
bad.
don't think it tastes bad either.
I hate the taste. I don't think it tastes like anything good.
It's just really hot. It's really hot.
Ooh. Rock House in Searcy, Arkansas. You killed us again.
I hate you.
Well, like I was saying, that first one I ate, I think it was dry.
Yeah.
So it was like hot, but it wasn't like that hot.
Whew.
So that second one I got was wet, and I ate it. Immediately regretted my decision.
Dude, God hates whoever made those. I will speak for him.
Yeah, it's simmering down for me though. It's kind of dying down a little bit.
It's okay.
We have Alyssa here too. What is up, Alyssa?
Yes.
Oh, we just ate hot wings.
The owner of
Like
Bug
really
Girl
hot wings.
Studio over here, or the renter or leasee of the Bug Girl Studio. Oh, that's awful, dude. It still hurts, and I don't like it.
No, I mean it's got like a slight burn now. It's mellowed out. I'm definitely gonna feel that one tomorrow.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, dude.
It's my birthday. Y'all had to do that too.
He got really drunk and ate the rest
Four
of
more.
them. Yeah, while he was we were off
I was
stream,
dumb
and then he told me the next day that
because I was up before
The
and I was
bathroom.
like, bro.
he warned me. He's like, "Dude, don't go to the bathroom."
Yeah, let it marinate in there as long as you can.
Yeah. Man, I broke a sweat, like for real.
Yeah, I mean it's definitely warm.
Satan made that.
Lord have mercy.
Ugh.
Alyssa, do you want to try one of these? She hates spicy things. So
Yeah, you don't even want to stick your finger in the juices. Like it is.
That's awful, dude. Have I not cried enough this week for you? Is this something you
there
wanted
was
me
more
to do?
tears to shed. I thought you were getting another one. I was like, Seth,
No.
you are a glutton for punishment, man.
My stomach
No.
already hurts.
Mine this
The
too.
thing I love about eating spicy though is like if you have like I'm getting a little graphic, but if you have like parasites or like worms or anything like even microscopic stuff, if you
It's
eat
gonna get
spicy,
rid of it.
it destroys it like instantaneously. So it's like good for you to eat spicy.
That's awful, dude. I don't even want to do the rest of the podcast.
Well, guys, we'll see you on episode 8. No.
That's awful, man.
I
feel
literally
it.
was chugging my beer trying to get that
I've
out of
got,
my
like,
mouth.
I took a couple
Sweats right now.
sips, but like I'm just like
Dude, this
I'm
was
a-
brand new when we ate the wing.
I'm a glutton for punishment, like you said.
Yeah. He went
Yeah.
for a second one.
Power
My
to
first
you,
one,
brother, 'cause
one side was kind of the dry, but the other side, I
Canada
picked it
dry.
up and I looked at it. I was like, crap. It was just dripping with sauce.
I almost want to throw that hot sauce on it and try it again.
Oh, my Lord.
Dude, well,
I'm a maniac, dude. What can I say?
yeah,
He's a maniac.
I agree.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh my god.
Okay. I'm feeling a little bit more normal,
Yeah,
but holy crap, that was
Dude.
hot.
I'm all the way back now.
I'm
Like-
not. Just give me another one. Just give me another one out of there, because it's getting close already. Dude, that's awful. That's awful.
Hey,
We didn't even.
Alyssa, did you want to try an import beer from Jason Haven?
Oh my god! Do not do that. No,
Don't
you do
it to
not.
her, dude.
No, it tastes like
Yeah.
grass and mud.
No, it's bad. I have one here that I didn't drink. If you want it, but it's if you want to try it, but it's. Hey, my.
Oh, we paused the recording. I'm joking.
No, we didn't.
No,
I was about to be like,
retake. Got to do it all over again.
No,
Run
I
it
would
back.
have left. I would have just been like, well, we're doing it.
all right, here we go.
we're-
This
no.
one extra wet.
No way, Jose. I'm
Uh.
not.
I feel like I'm gonna throw up later.
I felt like it first. I went outside to spit. I'm not gonna lie. That whole thick spit reaction to that
Oh
sauce.
my god, dude! I hate that. Still think the first time I had them was worse.
It almost is like dry on the tip of my tongue.
Yeah.
Like it burns so much that it's like dry.
It's
on the tip
it's
of my
like
tongue.
it dehydrates your mouth or something.
I'm sorry to keep walking past you. Bro.
Yeah. We didn't. We
paper towels.
yeah. Give me another one. We didn't even ask each other how we're doing, man.
Well, yeah.
We skipped right by that.
Doing
dude.
quite awful right now.
Yeah. Now we're biased. We're coming to that
Oh,
bias.
sorry. I'm trying to keep my nose from running. Oh my gosh.
Just blow it on Seth's shirt, dude. He's fine with it.
Yeah, I'm kind of. You know.
That's a
So
fun-
yeah, we usually hit that early. Hey man, how was your blah blah blah? How you been? How's it been the past couple of weeks for you?
Decent. I've had a couple people quit at work because of corporate folks getting too involved. You know, I'm not here to talk shit on my job. Like, I love my job. Like, most of my guys love what we do. I mean, working for the lottery, it's like a really, really cool thing.
Yeah.
But just being made aware of a lot of things that have been going on without my notice or without me kind of keeping my thumb on it
Right.
and kind of trusting that my guys are doing the right thing because there's not calls being opened or like, you know, different things being sent out. And so like being made aware of this data, kind of having the hard conversations with the guys one-off. It's been a difficult week, man. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Like talking. Like I lost one of my best techs this week because we cut overtime down to 0 because they felt a lot of the time was unjustified.
You told me that was coming. Yeah.
Yeah, and so like we had 2 people quit. One of them, I mean, I'm not saying everybody's replaceable or anything like that, but like, you know, it's like, okay, you quit. You know, they did their job. They showed up. They did their job. They didn't really go overboard.
Yeah,
they
go
didn't
above and
do.
beyond.
They didn't abuse the system or anything like that. But this other guy we lost, man, we're gonna feel it.
Is that,
You know,
could I say his name?
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
Was
sure.
it Kevin?
Yeah, Kevin.
Yeah.
Us losing Kevin.
I've heard you
is-
talk really highly of him before.
Man, the dude is like on top of his game. He never like does anything excessive. You know, he'll get like 90, 95 hours, not to throw his business out there, but like,
Right.
you know, that's kind of what the business demands sometimes.
Right.
We're answering calls from 7 a.m., 7 p.m., Sunday through Saturday, 7 days a week. So like, you know,
Do you guys like cover like certain parts of the state or what?
the
how's
whole
that
state.
work? The whole state.
yeah,
Ooh.
like I have 15 techs. Austin, you know, is the float there at the office, and
Yeah.
14 techs in the field, and I kind of just manage that team, like get the stuff we need to get done. But basically, like if they run into problems with inventory or needing parts or whatever, it's my job to make sure that everything's running smooth.
Right.
So it's kind of a little bit about what I do, but it's really been difficult. For me especially, like taking a step back. My new boss is very like pro. You're not going in the field. Your time is more valuable behind the desk, where you can, kind of have the autonomy and manage like that.
Right.
But
Truly
part of
manage
me agrees with that.
Yeah.
But there are instances like quality control, like going in on these guys that when I'm showing the data that, I'm showing up at 12, 1 o'clock every day and then clocking out at 4 or 5 o'clock. It's like, I'm all for you working from home and kind of rebuilding parts, but like you're not communicating with me. And when you do it every single day, it's kind of like, I'm not accusing you of nothing. And I want to make that very clear. It's like, it looks like something suspicious is going on. When I don't know, when you're not communicating with me what's going on, from the outside looking in, I'm sitting here advocating for you with raises and all this other stuff and going to this. And then the corporate folks just slam this report right in front of my face. I'm like, well, sure, we can give raises, but what's all this? What's going on here? Like,
explain that. Here comes the raise. Yeah, right.
And it's like, I get where they're coming from. So it's like, it's tough for me. I'm in a really weird spot. I want to quit. I really do.
Yeah.
I feel like if I quit though, like that place would burn down. And like for me, like I know I wear the shirt, my company shirt, but like really I work for the lottery.
Yeah.
Like, we're contracted with the lottery, but in my heart, I feel like I truly work for the lottery, and I don't want to burn those folks. I know if I left, like, it would really.
What about you switch over and start working for the lottery?
Is that an option?
And I'm not trying to dox your.
No, I mean, it would just come with a massive pay decrease.
It would
really?
be? Okay.
Yeah, it'd be like $20,000 a year less, probably.
Would it be a better job, though?
I don't know. When you talk about state benefits, but then I'd have to use my personal vehicle, where this vehicle is like company vehicle, company gas card. Like you think they're like, oh, that's that's kind of cool, whatever. But that's a lot. Like that's almost $10,000 plus a month.
Sometimes you can leverage some things
year.
like that and be like, hey, I've done this for this many years with this company through you guys. I've done nothing but good by you guys, but the company itself isn't doing great by its employees, or I don't feel I don't feel used to my full potential there. Could we maybe, even though it's going to be a pay cut for me, and tell them that, like, hey, it might be a pay cut for me. Is there any way I could have some kind of bonus as down payment toward a vehicle to use on, like, for you guys? Because
the problem that you get with that is that it's the state. It's ran by the state, and so if like screw it. Nobody really from the state's listening.
Barbara, he doesn't mean it.
You get into the contract of it, like everything's it's all public anyway. It's Arkansas Scholarship Lottery. It's funded by the taxpayer, so it's all public information anyway. The thing that isn't public is really percentages, but whatever. So like 96% of all profits go to Arkansas Scholarship Lotteries.
Right.
Like that I'm pretty sure is public information. And so like they have a 4% budget, and then when you get into like our percentage, they have really less than a 4% budget that they're working with. So stuff like bonuses or raises, I mean, like even their sales reps, they don't make that much. Man.
Right.
They're on the lower end of the totem pole, unfortunately. And they use their personal vehicles.
Is it the lady I met that knew you? Was she with the lottery itself?
Yes.
Right? Okay. She was super cool.
Oh, she's awesome.
Yeah.
That was my sales rep for my area when I was a tech.
Okay.
And man, we had such a great work. Like the thing is, like, I mean, I'm getting into the weeds a little bit, but she's like an extra set of eyes for me. So if something messed up, rather than call it in, she'll, hey, shoot me a text and be like, hey, this is kind of messed up. If I need to call it in, I'll call it in. But if you're by here, I'm just letting you know that this is coming down the pipe. And rather than that, I can go in and turn it in as a PDM, as a preventative maintenance, and then I get credit for it rather than somebody else get credit for it. So it's like she could help me out, I'd help her out.
That's cool.
Anytime she needed something, I try to make sure. And we just had a good working relationship.
Yeah, she thought spoke very highly of you.
Heck yeah.
Well, I mean, that's it, man. Like, I mean, we're all like normal folks. We all are from basically Arkansas. We all live in Arkansas for sure.
Yeah.
And like, we just want to see our money go to a good spot, man. We all like most of the people I work with are like pretty integrity driven. They're not like turds trying to
screw somebody
Yeah,
over and move
I mean,
on.
or
up.
even like, you get with the lottery, we can't play it, neither can they.
Yeah.
But like, it's like, oh, well, if the person from the lottery who works for it, has the inside info, they can win, and it just looks bad. That's why.
Yeah.
There's no inside info. Trust me, I'd already be a millionaire if there was. But
They're like, Matt, go buy this ticket at this gas. That's you explained that to me before.
yeah, it's all random,
It's
and even
completely
like
random.
so like. It goes from there's 3 companies that have a play in the game. Arkansas Scholarship Lottery, not really a company, but they're a player. Then you got Scientific Games, and you got us. And then, to be honest, like Sci Games randomizes the tickets. They send it to the lottery, so they're getting it randomized, so they have no idea. And then they have us put it in the machines, or they put it in the machines. So it's like nobody has a clue.
Right.
Now, some people think that they have a system that, hey, man, whatever. I think that's what degenerate gamblers tell themselves
Yeah,
to
there's a
justify
code. I
spending
gotta crack
thousands
it.
of dollars.
Yeah.
but-
Now you do have card counters and things like that. That's different.
Yeah.
Those people
Yeah,
are
well, that's-
they're on some different spectrum.
That's
and they're
less
able to.
that's less because there's a set system or anything, and more because there's only so many cards in a deck, and there's
But they
only so many.
calculate.
It's
probabilities
foolproof.
there.
No, like, so card counting real quick. You have 52 cards in a deck.
Right.
Yeah.
The count, if you count it correctly, will always be 0.
Yeah.
Like, because you have 6 sets, 2 through 6 is +1, 7, 8, 9 is 0, and then 10 through aces, and it offsets. You got a select number of cards,
Yeah.
plus and minus 1, and then zeros in the middle. It'll always be 0.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
that's how it works.
That's the thing, is there's a science to that's factual. Like, that's a thing. Unless the casino or whatever is cheating, then it should work.
It always gets you too, because that first when they make a new shoe, they burn the first card, so you really don't know what the true count is.
Yeah, and that's
And they do
that's
that
why
for
they
that.
do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's yeah.
To throw you off.
I know because
Yeah,
when I was
Probability is still there.
But still, yeah, you go and the count's +13. You know that there's face cards coming because there's been a lot of low cards. So it's
Yeah.
like, I'm going to increase my bet. Or depending on the shoe, you're not going to get a +13 with a single card deck. It's like almost impossible.
And to be fair, if you have just general common sense and knowledge of a deck and how to play blackjack, you kind of, if you think about it and you're not just there drunk gambling, then there's still a method without counting cards where you're like, it's all, like he said, it's all been low cards. There's got to be face cards coming. I can adjust. Like after a few hands especially, you can really tell what's going to happen. So it's like,
with high counts too, like it doesn't necessarily, because like with high counts, the dealer, the person playing in the house, doesn't necessarily, like, their odds for a blackjack are just the same as yours. Where they lose their advantage is that there's 6 players or 7, 8 players, however many players can be on a table. That's where they lose their advantage, because it's like more likely that you're going to have multiple winning hands versus your one.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
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 Probability.
Mm-hmm.
So you're
That's why
right.
some casinos you go to will have limits on for blackjack tables, limits on how many players.
Makes
Because
sense.
the casino
They
doesn't
know the
necessarily want to lose money.
No.
Yeah, so they're
They're
like,
not a
oh, the
nonprofit.
more players this table, if we have a table that allows 7 or 8 people, we're going to lose our money. Like, for sure we will lose our money unless they just keep playing and they're dumb.
Yeah.
Like, or drunk.
Yeah.
Yeah, get you one of those, dude.
Those are good.
Yeah, I mean,
those are really good,
I'm helping y'all eat those. That way I get
You're
these all
so
to myself.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I may do one more of these, man. I'll get the little one. Because I did not get any ranch at all. I regret that.
But yeah, man, besides work stuff, we know you got a kid on the way. We were talking a little bit about not child issues necessarily, but stresses, related to that going in, man. How's the home life going?
It's the home life, I can't complain. It's literally like, when I'm awake, I can run the house. It's not a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
But like when we're putting the kids to bed, Gus will settle down typically. Kyra will go right to sleep, knocked out within 5 minutes. But you keep rolling. Time goes on. Gus wakes up in the middle of the night 3 or 4 times now, and it's like, I'm such a light sleeper. That's really where my disadvantage is. I wish I was just heavy and
Ouch.
yeah.
Sleep through it.
But it isn't like that. I wake up at the slightest little creak, which I'm honestly, like, it's on the surface, I say I'm not a fan of, but
Not bad.
if somebody was trying to kick in my door or something like that, I'm glad that I would wake up to that.
For sure.
So,
That's a good thing.
Now, you know why kids and even some adults have the issue with waking up around like 2 a.m. mark, 12 to 2 a.m. mark? Because instinctually, human circadian rhythm is set to go to sleep at like 6 or 7 o'clock, wake up in the middle of the night, do things.
I just read something about this. He's not kidding.
It's because of evolution and farming.
Yeah.
So humans, through farming and stuff like that, because we've had to for thousands and thousands and thousands of years until now, where we can live in a society where there are farmers that have set stuff, and then there are people doing all kinds of other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Because used to, everyone had to farm a little, to take care of themselves. But, it's because in the middle of the night, these farmers and stuff, they would work all day. They had no time to make kids, to put it lightly, to make children. They had no time to study for school or anything like that. So they would use the middle of the night. The middle of the night when kids are asleep and this and that. But with that, over time, because everything boils down to genetics, that transitions to a genetic thing where now I even have it where like every few months I'll get into like this weird rhythm where if I go to sleep early, I will wake up in the middle of the night and will not sleep for 2 or 3 hours. Just can't. And then you go back to sleep and wake up later. So, and there's a scientific reason behind that. And kids don't have jobs and this and that and schedules set yet, so that they can't fight the genetic side of it, forcing them to wake up in the middle of the night.
But a spanking can get your butt to bed. You do it.
Hit your kid now.
No, but you do have to teach your children rhythms. I mean, we have a natural rhythm, but kiddos aren't farming. No. So it's one of those things. Okay, buddy, you're okay. Go back to sleep. Yeah. But as the parent who has to get up at the butt crack of dawn and go to work, or the parent that has to get up and take care of the kids all day, it sucks when your sleep is broken. It for sure does.
Dude, you're telling me, like, they wake up all these times, and my alarm set for, like, I'm typically, like, a semi-early bird. Military kind of did that to me. But, like, my alarm will go off at, like, 6:30 in the morning, somewhere in there, depending on the day, depending on what I got to do the next day, how early I got to get to work.
Right.
But when he's waking up at 4:45, it's like,
oh no!
Oh, you suck.
Yeah, that's the area where you're like, do I just stay up?
Yep.
But I don't have anything to do, and I'm still so tired. I want to go back to sleep. But if you go back to sleep,
you're gonna oversleep.
Not just
you
that,
hit snooze 15 times, and you're like,
and then you're exhausted all day because then you got close enough to REM, but not close enough that you're like, now your body's like, just heavy. And
I hate that. I hate that so bad.
That Joe Rogan podcast with the sleep doctor guy.
I don't know if I've seen that episode.
It's fantastic.
Sleep is...
He talks about, like, if you get less than 8 hours, like, it is detrimental to your health. Yeah. Like,
well, it's
you
also...
think cancer's bad? He's like, get less than 8 hours of sleep, and you'll like... That, it takes years off the back end of your life.
For sure. Wow. Multiple of my health issues are related to... So when I met you, I expressed to everyone. I have always expressed to everyone that until the last year and a half or so... for several years, I literally did not get more than like 2 or 3 hours of sleep at a time. And it's caused me numerous health issues and things like that. I didn't know that's why at first. Mm-hmm. Doctors talking about it, me reading into it, me watching these interviews with like Joe Rogan, or just like those like question and answer videos where they'll have like the certain channels will
Seth's eating more eruption. Just sorry to interject.
if we laugh or react to something, that's why.
I breathed and it kind of went down the wrong hole.
Yeah. And there's no right hole with eruption. Yeah.
One of my favorite things on the internet are the I forget what channel it does, but they're super big and they have magazines.
Porn sites.
Yeah.
That was
and they have a super big magazine and stuff too. But they'll have like doctors and this and that answering questions that like Twitter people like send in or whatever, and those are super super cool because you get to see these people that are just there to spread like awareness of like, hey, these are things we need to know. And sleep is one of those things that, and we still don't know why we need it, why it's so important, because there is no scientific reason why our brain really requires rest. Like, we as humans equate it to, everyone needs rest. Well, we think that, but there's no actual reason that our brains or a person requires rest.
Well,
We're not a machine.
That's nature, though. I mean, like,
You-
everything.
Yeah, but that's the
living
thing. At
requires
a
sleep.
base level, though, we don't know why. And that's because, it goes back to the fact that, like, we know more about the moon than we do our brain.
Speaking of the moon.
Yeah, and, but yeah, anyways, that was just interesting that he brought that up because that's I've read into sleep and done a lot of, just, like, I guess, self-research
Hanging
and stuff.
footnote. We'll come back to the moon.
Yeah. So,
Will we, though?
like, research and stuff on sleep that I'm like, people just don't understand it. Like, and people think you can catch up on sleep. You can't.
No, it's
When
an
you lose
impossibility.
sleep, you
Yeah.
lose sleep. Like, that's it. You can't sleep more the next day and cover it because now you've messed up your schedule for 2 days.
Yeah.
A schedule is better. Hell, a schedule of 5 hours or 4 hours of sleep is still better for you than trying to oversleep one day and not sleep.
I'm just going to rest all day. Yeah.
Yeah, no,
It's horrible.
that doesn't do it.
Get
Just
up, do
get
your
up,
normal
dude.
routine,
Yeah, get
and
up.
sleep early the next night. Well, yeah. So, just me to you, father to father, but giving you advice of just hang in there.
I know it'll get better.
It does, dude.
Kyrie's 9, and she knocks the entire night. And as a
Right.
matter of fact, she is like on to as far as tell me like, hey, I know that you're going to be home tomorrow from work. When you wake up with Augustus, because I know nobody else, like you are going to be the one. Close my door. I'm like, I
Not
got
get me
you.
up and I'll help you.
No.
Shut my door, please.
I want to sleep too. So, like, and she'll go to bed the same time as Gus. And dude, if we were to shut the door and be quiet, dude, she'd sleep till 10, 11 o'clock.
Dude, there's times Autumn. No, Autumn. I'm not gonna. She's a later teen, but dude, there's times like she'll go to bed. She's up there, playing games, talking to her boyfriend, all that kind of stuff, and 11 o'clock, midnight. Good night. Brrr, she goes to bed. If you don't wake her up, dude, 10, 11, 12, 1. I mean, she can
Dude,
sleep.
I'm the same. I slept till 1 or so today.
Yeah, I was messaging. I was like,
To be
what
fair-
a
to be fair-
shithead. He's not
To
responding.
be fair, I've had a week,
Yeah.
so I was just like,
We'll get on
I'm
that.
just, yeah, I'm just gonna sleep,
Whatever level
sleep
you want
this
to
way.
get on it.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, just and again, not to go in all the detail. I'm here for you. Angela's here for you. Anyway, I know you need those breaks sometimes.
Yeah,
It
because
is-
like our relationship, I'm not saying like it suffers or anything per se,
it
but
does.
it's like
it's a fair
and we're
statement.
both so tired. Like I work, she's with the kids all day. And then we
It
both
is-
get home and we help each other out.
Dude, marriage
Either she
counselors
cooks dinner and I
everything
help with the kids.
would tell you that it does suffer. Yeah, like,
By the time, like, dude, I haven't been on my phone all day. We're laying in bed. I'm like, she's wanting to scroll Facebook, check out. I'm the same way. I wanted to play Magic on my phone or,
Yep.
You have your-
check out. Dude.
yeah, you have
Because it's like-
your time, your hobbies, your things you like to do, and half of it's on your phone or whatever. So yeah, it's like, it is nice. As much as I crap talk social media and phones and stuff, because it's such a normal thing nowadays, there's a refreshing.
Second wave. Sorry,
Yeah,
it just
I feel
all my
you.
nose started running all of a sudden.
They're fantastic, man.
There's
I'm glad you like them. Did they hit the heat that you wanted, that you didn't feel yet until these?
Are y'all going to eat another one? Because like,
Dude,
I'm,
you can have all of those. And will not
I
have
think we
any.
do one more.
I'm not.
At the-
I will not.
well, I'm 3. This is my third one. So
I will
y'all's
throw
one.
up, dude.
Whew.
I will
Yeah,
throw
no.
up. No.
It hit me hard, man. I'm gonna. You can have all of them. Thank
I mean,
you.
I don't want all of them.
I was like, why is she bringing toilet paper? It's because she hears me sniffling and sucking snot over here.
It's not the wings; it's the cocaine that we have here on
Yeah,
this show.
but that's how we keep this energy, guys.
Yeah,
Sorry,
bless
that was probably really. It was really loud, and I apologize.
He makes a joke about it, but he doesn't let me joke about cocaine because he knows I actually really like cocaine. a
I
lot.
hate cocaine. I had a horrible experience with cocaine.
It was,
I almost did cocaine one time,
Yeah.
and thank God, my plug was like a straight up dude. He was like very straightforward, like you're gonna get what you're gonna get, and like I'm very upfront and honest. He's like, it's cut with meth. I'm like, okay, I don't want it. Yeah.
yeah. Well, that's
So-
the thing is cocaine. You can't like just make. Some places, I guess there are ways to do it, but
Wish
for
me
the
luck.
most part in America, when you buy
Get it.
cocaine, as a frequent buyer of cocaine, it's always cut with something. They have to. So the base of meth can be based on a few different things.
This is not a lesson. This is not a lesson, kids.
No, not a lesson. But the base of cocaine can be based with several things. Cocaine can be based with meth, mainly. Cocaine can be based with I have never had it. I've never seen it, but I've heard that it can be based in some way with some kind of THC compound or something.
Never heard
See,
of
I've
that.
heard that it's either cut with meth or heroin.
Yeah.
Period.
No, there's also pure cocaine.
Yeah, but you got to be like Tonya Montana.
Living in
We
Colombia.
gotta go to, Colombia for that. Well, I will say that I had pure cocaine. So when I did cocaine, it was a few years ago. A lot. When I did a lot, it was quite a few years ago, I guess now. But and I was making a lot more money, and I spent a significant amount on pure cocaine. And I can tell you that the feeling of that versus cocaine mixed with or based with meth or heroin or this or that, because I've had those too, is wacky. The differences are wacky, dude. Because the ones mixed with like meth and heroin and stuff, like are quick and easy overdoses if you don't watch it.
Yeah, because you don't know the cocktail.
Yeah,
Pure
pure cocaine.
Gotta have that Narcan on standby.
Yeah. Pure cocaine.
Now this party just got started.
I'm not vouching for drugs here, but pure cocaine, you can have a lot
Perfect
more.
timing on the sniff. Sorry.
No, I mean like
You can have a lot more pure cocaine than you can a lot of the other different variations of it.
The only time I ever did cocaine, it was not knowingly. I was at a party,
So
and there was a group, and I will because they're pieces of crap, and if I find you, I will fight you. They were called the Conway Kids, and this was, dude, 30 years ago, easily. Yeah. And I went to this party with the Conway Kids were hosting a house party, and I went there, and some of my friends were there. I was in a band at the time, and it was like, oh, Matt's here, blah, and it was fun. And, there was some smoking of herb that was happening, and
green, huh?
They kept calling it, to quote them, they kept calling it one-hit shit, is what they called it. And there was this circle of, 10, 15 people. We're all sitting around, and, everybody was quitting. And the circle got smaller and smaller and smaller until it was like me and 3 dudes. And we're just sitting here just still passing around this cigarette.
Just you think you're smoking
I think I'm smoking weed. I'm like, dude, I'm in a group of wusses, man. What is wrong with y'all? So we just keep passing it around. The feeling I had afterwards was horrible. I felt out of my body. Like everything was messed up. Like I did not feel right at all. And I remember I kept telling my ride, dude, we need to go. I don't feel good. Something's not right. And the next day, I don't remember how, but I ended up back at my parents' house, and they had a 3-story house, and the bottom floor, which was a converted garage, was my room. I just went there and crashed. The next day, man, I felt like somebody had ice picks jabbing them through the back of my head. Ew. And I remember checked my pager, and that shows you how long ago it was. I checked my pager, and my girlfriend at the time had been blowing me up, the whole night. It was my girlfriend. If she was paging me, I would have called her. But I didn't even know that my pager was going off. Like my pager was
out, really.
I was in another world, and I called her, and she was mad at me. And we broke up shortly after because she told me not to party with the Conway Kids. I forgot to preface that, and found out the weed was laced with meth, or cut with meth, and the paper was laced with coke. I didn't know it at all.
What a crazy concoction, dude.
Yeah, I hate any kind of designer drugs because of that night. I can't. If people want, and I'll tell you flat out, if you want to smoke weed, if that's weed is in the natural form. I'm not talking about the stuff where it's cut and spiced and blah.
Laced.
If you just want to do and smoke pot or do some kind of a THC edible or a derivative of that, more power to you. It doesn't bother me. When it becomes your god is when it bothers me.
What about DMT?
Nope.
It's from the earth.
That's cool. It can stay in the earth.
What about psilocybin?
I am not an enemy of psilocybin at all.
Yeah, there's a lot of people. I
believe microdosing of psilocybin is where it's mission critical.
I would say if there's another thing going to become medically regulated anytime soon, besides like weed and stuff of drugs, it'll be psilocybin, because there's a lot of states that are allowing people to microdose shrooms and psilocybin and stuff.
There's a lot of doctors that actually recommend it.
Yeah, that is my thing of choice.
Psilocybin?
Yeah, I'd cut. I'd never do alcohol again. I'd never smoke weed. Like, honestly, I haven't smoked weed in, like, months.
Yeah.
At this point. But, like, psilocybin, I've only done it, like, 3-4 times, handful. Each time is incredible. Each time, it's like a mental... It's like WD-40 for the brain. That's the best way that I can describe it.
Oh, my God. He gets the squeak out.
Sponsored by No.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
well, that's and you know, I back in the day I had my experience with the magical mushrooms, and perhaps I did too many. Which me be a glutton for something? How dare I? But yeah, it was one of those things that it was an experience.
Well, I've only ever microdosed. I've never taken, like, somebody says, like, for your first time, like, the first time I did it, they were, like, adamant. They were dead set. You got to take an 3.5 grams. You have to. I'm like, let me just ease into it. I took a gram, and that's, like, I mean, I was zooted.
Right.
I ate. This is all out of legal. I can't be in any trouble for telling these stories because it was 30 years ago.
Yeah.
But I ate. Me and my buddy at the time, it had to have been 6 or 7 shrooms apiece. And
yeah, straight up same for my first time in high school.
it was
Something similar to that.
It was intense. The feel, but it wasn't like a trip. It was a trip of its own, but it wasn't like an LSD trip. Let's say.
So, like, when I took LSD, it was, like, way different than psilocybin.
Mm-hmm.
Psilocybin, like,
100% different.
They're both hallucinogenics, but like they're different variations.
Yeah.
Okay, like the first time I had shrooms, I was in high school and I was wrong way to do it. We were out like camping or something, and I took them, and I was like laying in the grass, like looking around.
Always familiar territory. Always,
and that was horrible
you
because
have to be around people you know.
Yep.
looking at trees and stuff like that, and you start to see things kind of move, especially with trees at nighttime. You see like the shadows kind of move and stuff, and dude, that scared the crap out of me. Dude.
Oh, dude, like for me on psilocybin, we went on a drive with the sober person, the trip sitter. I thoroughly thought
Trip sitter, I like that.
I thoroughly thought the trees were waving at me.
They were.
And nature was like, "Hey, like, look at me."
He can see me.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
like,
Actually
this is beautiful. You should stop. Like, my brain was like just saying, like, you really need to get more in touch with your naturist side.
Yeah.
You really need to be like.
Do I have any more of those reds in there?
I mean, I'll get you more.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I didn't mean
But
to cut
no,
you
you're
off.
good. But that's. I mean, I'm stepping away from the mic at this point. But
That's why I didn't mean to cut you off. You were in mid-sentence. I was just asking a question to the ether. Gracias.
Yeah, sure. See, that though is why I'm kind of a proponent of DMT.
I've never
so-
done it.
I've done DMT one time, and that's all I would say. If I'm not vouching for anybody ever to do DMT.
No.
However, if someone is going to do DMT, I would vouch small amount one time. And there's a lot of people that will say Joe Rogan, and a bunch of people that will tell you to do DMT one time because it sets you straight. Like, I mean, maybe not everybody.
It's the ego checker. Like,
it is, and a lot of
yeah.
people say, yeah, you will experience ego death during it. And I can tell you safely,
Ego
I
death.
thought when I was a teenager that I was a god. Like, I had a god complex. I've told you before, and I've been transparent with my audience about when I was a teenager, I thought I had a god complex. It was, 16 and bulletproof kind of thing. I was in really good shape. I never got in trouble for anything at school, no matter what I did. Teachers loved me, so they'd always let me off the hook. I did all kinds of drugs and stuff during school and everything, and never got caught. I never got in trouble for anything. This was at a period that my parents were, I guess, trying to make up for my childhood, so they kind of laid back on trying to do anything slightly punishing because they were like, let's just give him what he wants because this dude could probably put us in jail for, like, the stuff we did, like, as we were, when he was a kid and stuff.
Right.
And so I did DMT. At the time, I didn't know anything about it. Someone was like, this DMT, this is blah, blah, and I was a teenager, so I was like, yeah, okay, fine. I did DMT, and since then, I don't think I've ever had that issue. I don't think I've ever had an issue with ego or anything. And it's the hardest experience to explain. I can relate it similarly to psilocybin. But I in the way I did it, and the way it was recommended to me, and the way I would recommend anyone else. In a dark room, of course, a safe dark room that you're familiar with.
This is called DMT paintings. These are like paintings that people have made that show you like kind of what the entity or what the experience is like.
Looks a lot like a Tool album.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a lot of people
It wouldn't shock me if Tool has done DMT before.
Oh, for sure. And I can't vouch for this, but obviously, a lot of people claim that they met God on DMT or this or that.
A lot of people do.
To be
say
fair,
that.
so to be fair, to explain to some people what DMT is it is the chemical that your brain produces as you're dying.
Or when you're born. It's twice.
Or when you're born, yeah.
Yep.
You only experience it naturally those two ways. Normally.
Gotcha.
Uh-oh.
Oh my.
Let's take a pause on that.
We're pausing
the...
the conversation about how we became ministers, and we are...
This was so difficult to light.
Ayo! He's got the Pabst hat!
Ready, Gus?
Hello.
Happy birthday to you.
That's a copyright issue.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear sir. Happy birthday to you. Woo!
Hey, come here.
There you go.
Okay, ready? Let's do it. Ready? One,
They brought a
two,
pecan pie
three.
for Seth for his birthday.
Woo! Yeah!
We got some candle wax in the little pot.
It makes it delicious.
Yeah, dude, that's like the
It'll-
wings. The
it'll
wings
puff
had chemicals
It'll
from the
puff
plastic.
out.
Oh, I'm keeping it.
He said, he almost said yeehaw. He almost said yeehaw when he said, and Matt's like, thank God we can get rid of that.
You can hold one.
So yeah, it's Matt's birthday tomorrow, the day after we record the stream.
No, it's not.
Not Matt. I'm stupid. Seth's birthday.
I was like, don't hit that gas pedal.
I've
I'm already
been drinking
vastly
and
over.
I've been drinking and I'm spiced up. But Seth's birthday tomorrow, so his
Words?
fiance.
Feet,
I didn't
feet,
know. I didn't know.
McGurk.
I didn't know.
His feet,
Fiance brought a pecan pie over here that old Angela made for him, heated up for him, or whatever.
It's my favorite. You know, I love pecan pie. And usually you only get them in around Thanksgiving.
Right.
So it's my birthday signature thing. So I get one twice a year.
Yeah,
Nice.
he's gaming the system the best he can to get more pecan pie every year.
Dude.
That's,
Pecan pie. Yeah.
Pecan pie.
Pecan pie.
Yeehaw!
I ate 3 of these. They only had one apiece.
Yeah, no,
So-
now you can have the rest.
You got 2 more waiting on you, homie.
Yeah,
Just-
There's 4 more in there.
Are
There's 2
there?
apiece for each of
No,
you.
no, Matt
To
brought,
catch up
Matt
to me.
bought those for you because I didn't want those.
Look, I had my 3. Look.
Autumn, you want
No.
one?
No, she said.
I got the
I
hiccups
don't
still.
blame
Yeah.
y'all. It is
It's awful, dude.
it is brutal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you respect the eruption.
Oh yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
it is a
that's
hot
probably that's probably like 750K Scoville.
It's hot.
That's hot
pretty
for
crazy.
sure.
So we didn't rate the wings. We still we've been all over the place.
I mean, we've had both wing. Both
we
wing
hadn't had
flavors.
cashmere.
We
This is
haven't
one of the
had-
flavors I did not.
Maybe I had that on my own time because it tastes pretty familiar. Well, it's also Korean barbecue.
It was one of the last episodes where DJ Jazzy Joe was up with us, and
Yeah.
we talked about doing the cashmere because it was the Korean. But I would say cashmere was one of my initial first loves of wings at Rock House. So for me, it's a 7, a strong 7 on the cashmere.
I give it a solid 4.
Solid 4.
It's all right.
Coming from you, because I know
4?
his 4 is
I rate
more of like
I-
a 5
I-
or 6.
When it comes to
You're
like,
like that,
when it comes to wings and chicken in general, I rate things pretty critically. Like I'm really picky with chicken.
So you're like what's his name? The dude from not Bleacher Report. Who does the one bite pizza?
Oh, yeah,
Dave
yeah,
Portnoy or whatever.
Dave Portnoy.
Yeah, something like
I don't
that.
want pecan pie, brother. I hate pecan pie.
Why?
I like apple pie and like
It's
fruit
really
pies.
good.
Brother, I'm telling you, I've had it.
You don't want
I
this?
do not want that.
Well, all right.
Like, you're not going to get me to eat that. That's
Use the eruption for it. Yeah, there you go.
I mean, the fork, yeah. But
If he would have asked for like red velvet cake, I probably would have ate more than him. But pecan pie.
your cake is so good. But
I do pecan pie now.
we've got
We
a.
can take a tactical pause. If we
Yeah,
want
look,
to.
we're going to take a tactical pause. Enjoy
Tactical
this birthday
pause.
time. We'll be
It's
right
like
back with you guys.
It's like something.
Drugs are bad, okay?
So, anyways, we're back.
If the marijuana could find its way to the front of the class, that'd be great.
Anyways, the point about DMT I was
Yeah.
trying to make is I had a God complex before I tried DMT. After that, I didn't. However, I will say, after that is when I got really hardcore, like depressed and started having
Ooh.
those issues. That could also be because I had a really crappy childhood and the PTSD started hitting me about that time, you know.
Yeah.
So I'm a firm believer in like the United States government and those in power want us to not be on drugs per se. I think we are a drug doing species.
I think
to an extent.
I think
like,
humans or any
Interesting.
species wants a distraction from the things that ails it.
yes, but also like the spiritual stuff that you get. So like, you know, I have some PTSD from stuff, from life experiences, but like when I do, you know, like psilocybin mushrooms from the earth, they're not like gonna grow on their own, but there's always gonna be cows, really.
Yeah,
So-
them cow duty decorations, they're pretty good.
And so like I personally have like always believed that if you use them like anything
Hummingbird.
else.
There's a hummingbird at the window.
That was
I heard
cool.
that, yeah.
But like if you use anything like a tool, like for a set,
Was that God telling
Intention?
us to do psilocybin?
probably.
On live on recording, we do psilocybin. Is that what I'm hearing?
No.
No, dude.
Uh,
We'd be recording for 6 hours
Yeah.
and like, bro.
Man, this is the best pecan pie ever.
And it wasn't a pecan pie
And
at
yeah,
all.
it was like 30 minutes in, no wings or anything yet.
We're just
and
eating paper
like,
towels.
We're like, dude, these wings are the best I've ever had.
That was a good Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Get to
These
the
wings,
chopper.
Yeah, so...
How are you doing, man?
An hour and a half in.
Yeah.
How are you doing?
Hey, we decided...
This whole episode
This
is
whole
supposed to
episode
be
is just
kind of
the three of us catching up and hanging out, man.
just doing the thing.
Cool, man.
We're going to talk about some random stuff, as you've heard already. So if you thought we were
We said
waiting to surprise you with a topic, ta-da, you're already there.
We said the first episode because it was just an introduction and
Yeah.
kind of shooting the ish. That whole episode we kind of talked about the fact that I think once in a while it'll just be a good thing to just have an episode where we're just catching up.
Yeah. And we may dive into a little bit about what we were
Yeah,
kind of
discussing earlier.
yeah, but we will maybe it just depends on where it goes.
Moon landing. Flat Earth.
The
Government conspiracy.
Spoiler.
My week has been long. It's funny. This is a common and reoccurring theme. You heard Seth talking about your week. Dude, sleep's broken up. Da, da, da. Dude, I'm just dog ass tired. Like there's been couple 3 days. Now I'm not saying I work 15, 20 hour days, nothing like that, man. But when I get up, Angela, man, God bless her. She gets up. I'll set my alarm for 6:30. Does this thing, and I'm like, ugh, and I'm like getting up to go take care of chickens. Angel's already done, and I'm like, shit. It's one of those things. I don't have to get up at 6:30, but I feel like I need to contribute.
Yes.
And it's one of those things that every morning she's like, I couldn't sleep, so I went ahead and just let him out early. And because I'll check my phone and have a message, and instead of coming back to bed and waking me up when she gets back in bed, she'll just go to the art room and go to sleep or whatever. And I'm just like, well, crap, and then I feel poopy, and
Yeah.
she doesn't mean it that way towards
No.
me, but it's her rhythm, it's her routine, that's what she does. And I love her for it. I mean, she's when you talk about spouses, you talk about partners. I have a great partner, man. She's awesome in that capacity. But
She works her ass off.
she
for sure.
works her ass off, and both of us, lately, Angela may get the occasional afternoon off, and even then, she's hustling and bustling, dude.
Yeah.
She's like hauling ass. because she has a couple of hours that she can go to Cabot and see Emily for a couple of hours, or she's swinging through Sherwood to go see her dad or whatever, because she's got A, B, C, and she makes an 8.2 to stop and see her dad for a little bit. Working a job when you're at a location, you don't have that freedom necessarily to go, hey, I know I got to work later, but I'm going to go ahead and swing by and see my dad. That's funny. But, sorry, it was a dad joke. See what I did there? But it's the fact that we're trapped inside four walls. And that's where I told Angela the other day. It was like, she was like, I hate to complain to you, that I'm just tired, babe. I want to go to bed, And I'm like, I feel you. I was like, I know I wasn't boing, 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 boing all over the place, but I was in one place. In, customer, not customer, calling people, whatever I'm doing. It's hot. It's hot in the store. I mean, there's no evading any of that. And it takes its toll. And then you got that 35-minute ride home where you're just like, your dreams of, man, I may get on and stream tonight. Or I may
Man, I can tell you that.
I
text you every day. Like, is tonight the night? We're doing a thing.
He's like, hey, we're gaming tonight. I'm like, bro, I'm already in bed.
Yeah.
For me, like that 40-minute drive home for me is like, I know for sure that is going to be the most peace the drive to. Sorry, the eruption.
The eruption of laughter. No,
the 40-minute drive to work is a lot less great than the 40-minute drive home. But those are like I get peace and quiet.
Yep.
And I get to just kind of mentally prepare the day, and then get to mentally unwind from the day. Because as soon as I get home, it's put the dad hat on, and it's
we're
cut, rocking on,
dude, and it doesn't stop.
Yeah.
So it's good that we revisited that. It's that
Stillman's Mental Health Month.
It is. We're the last days of it, folks. But it's I guess in a nutshell, man, I'm good. The past couple of weeks have been good. I'm appreciative. I believe God is showing me, teaching me humility in some regards, and in the other, teaching me to appreciate what I do have. And those are the things that it's like, all of that going on. I mean, I could talk about, this sucked, that sucked, whatever. Angela, I feel bad for my wife. She's busting her ass. And
but you're eating?
Yeah, no. The blessings are there for sure.
You got a roof over your head. You're eating.
Yeah. So exactly. You take a different. You guys knew me 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Not same shoes, like at all. I mean, literally they were, probably, because I love my Chuck E's. But it's not in the same position. So it's kind of a learning how to digest life again in a different way.
Yeah.
And it makes you appreciate. It can make you bitter. Or it can make you better. And I think that's one of these things where it's making me better. I shared on the last podcast sort of some of the journey where I'm not devoting energy into people. My energy's fleeting. I know that. It's that's a reality. But it's not over. But I don't have as much as I did yesterday. So
right.
With that, I'm appreciative for it, guys. Seriously.
Yeah, dude. This has done wonders for me mentally. Just getting to talk to people, in general.
Yeah.
And we talked about before one of the whole reasons the podcast is art of conversations.
Bringing it back.
It's lost in this
Yep.
in this current age and everything, but
it is.
Yeah, it is for sure. And I've talked to people about it, telling them about the podcast. I brought that up, and people are like,
this guy was a candidate for the podcast. I was so proud of him. He was out selling it like I don't know, something on a corner. He was doing great.
Yeah, well, I can sell things, man. I can sell things,
for sure.
But yeah, everyone I talked to, I would bring that up, and everyone pretty much agrees. Like, you know what? Yeah, it seems like ever since I've had social media and the phone where I can text people anytime, I don't want to talk as much.
Yeah.
And to be fair, I'm the same, where it's like I'll text people or whatever. But even text conversation, when I was young and having text conversations, it seemed like I wanted to talk about everything in the world. And now that I've been able to text people for years and years, it's like, I try to have conversations with people, and I genuinely want to. But it's almost hard to, because I just prefer to talk to them in person. And not over the phone, not texting, not on a phone call or anything. But there's just something magic about connecting with a person or people.
I agree. I agree.
in person.
Yeah.
You know what phones are? Adult pacifiers.
For sure.
Hundo
I agree.
percent.
I
Yeah.
agree with that 100%.
And I didn't, and I will tell myself guilty.
Yep.
You talk about that 45-minute ride to work, 40-minute ride. I find myself guilty because, and some of you guys know, and you guys close to me know, my brain never stops. It doesn't.
Yeah,
My
no.
brain is always going, and it's blessing and curse because, man, I'm a pipe dreamer like a mofo. I think of things all the time,
Same.
I have these grand, visions and imagination going buck wild. And I'm thinking, like I was just talking to you, hey, I'm wanting to do this, I'm wanting to do that,
Yeah.
Not meth head talky,
Yeah,
but I'm
yeah,
just
no.
saying it's like
We're
my
dreamers,
brain, I
man.
have ideas. Yeah,
You're
dreamers.
forward thinking, man. That's
Well,
it.
But it never stops.
It's
Yeah.
just a human instinct.
So
to
for
want,
me-
you want to do better for yourself, and you think of ways that you enjoy.
Yeah.
That would also better everything else.
Dude,
as
building
well.
onto the porch, A, it's time with you.
Yeah.
B, it's fun.
Yeah.
I like building stuff and creating
Getting
things.
to swing a hammer, getting to get out in there, sweat.
Do the
a little
drill.
bit,
That was a good drill impression,
Drill,
thanks.
drill the,
Yeah.
drill the stuff.
It's
It's good to be productive.
Yeah, it is.
There's
And
so
It's
many
always been
studies
a-
on this.
it's always
sweat
been a thing-
equity does something for you.
It's always
yeah.
been a thing for men in general, with moving your hands and doing things with your
I'm
hands.
just going to start doing this. With my fingers, Lord.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're
But
doing jazz hands for those that can't see.
I'm just doing the fingers.
No.
Stop it. But that's kind of where I'm at, and it's been a continuation for me too, man. There's been a couple of speed bumps over the last couple of weeks for me. A lot of it's just been internalized, and but I know that I'm on the right path,
Yeah.
and it's like I'm going to keep on trucking.
For sure.
I've reached out to a couple people in regards to some people because it's my thing that I'm like, man, there comes a point, and I've had to take this for self-preservation. We talk about that a lot,
Yeah.
where I'm done chasing,
Yeah.
and my heart, my home, me as a person, I will always be open to those that want that from me, want that relationship with me, where, hey, Matt can be a pain in the ass sometimes, or whatever else, or Matt's a cool dude, or whatever the case is. I'm going to be genuine. I'm going to be me, and you're going to hit that 100% every time you come see me. I may be in a bad mood one day or whatever, but I'm still going to give you 100% of what I am.
Yeah.
I'm tired of giving and giving and giving, or chasing and chasing and chasing, and
Not getting
the
it
race
back,
doesn't
dude.
end.
We were talking about that earlier with the fatigue thing. It's
Yeah.
like, you mentioned, it's a cultural thing right now, or in society where it's like black fatigue or whatever. But like I said,
I think the
it's
problem
not,
is
it's not
fatigue.
black. Yeah, it's fatigue in general. There's good people, and then there's shitty people. Race aside, religion aside, whatever the
100%.
division is aside, there's people that are literally out here out to look for themselves.
Yep.
Full stop. And it's tiresome, man. It's like if we had that sense of camaraderie or that sense of togetherness,
Yeah.
which is exactly what the system that's in place is trying to fight against, because
Mhm.
they don't want us to be together. I don't care if you're left, right, you're black, brown, white, orange, gray, your sexuality, whatever it is, man. Like, we're all human. We need to see each other for that, and that's the most important thing. We all make mistakes. We're all but man, if we just came together, we could really, really leave the world a better place than what it is right now.
Leaving it
Yeah.
way better than what we found it, man. I can tell you.
100%, man. And but that's the dangers of free will, man.
Yeah.
Free will is a dangerous thing.
Yeah.
And if you utilize that free will to check out, or you do you have to stay mentally tough with that.
For sure.
And that's God's promise to you.
Yeah.
It's like, you have the free will. It's what you do with that.
Right.
Dude, it's
And
interesting.
I'm not gonna hit on that directly because that could be a whole thing in
Yeah.
itself. But
We'll talk one off
I'm-
about the free will thing. It's the second time it's been brought up to me this
well,
week.
it's not the free will thing for me. It's just the fact that there's something about human nature, and it sucks, and it's unfortunate. But I think at this point we know it as a fact. We'll never be able to have, as a full, complete civilization and society, that unification.
Yeah.
It just won't.
I disagree.
I think I think anything's possible. So I think the possibility and the chance is there. But I think
more of
it's
a gleaming reality.
I think it's extremely improbable that it happens. And I'm not trying to blame it on religion or governments for this or that, but it is religion and governments and this and that are going to constantly keep us at odds.
divisive tactics.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it's
we're so much harder to manage as a unit rather than when we're broken up into our individual groups.
It doesn't help that you have language barriers and this and that and
Babylonians.
physical barriers that we will never be able, none of us will be able to, especially like just to reference right now, we will never be able to talk to Iranian people or Israeli people or this or that without some kind of bias. And it's not their fault. It's not our fault.
It's propaganda.
It's propaganda. It's the way we've been raised, and it's almost unfortunately because information can be genetic, and it's almost to a point where it's almost, I would say, give it another 1,000 years of being the same way it is now. Eventually, it'll be a genetic hatred for one another that we will never be able to see eye to eye, and it sucks, dude. It's unfortunate.
I think one of the problems with what you're saying is like, as an American, we're coming up on 4th of July. Yeah. I'm very patriotic myself. I think America is the greatest country in the world as it sits right now.
Right.
But to be honest, as an American, I say that it's a little short-sighted, but I've been overseas to 6 different countries. Mind you, it was one continent.
Yeah.
When you have conversations with civilians over there, man, they're literally just like us.
Yeah, the same. It's all the same. I mean,
and that's the problem.
I've been streaming for almost 10 years. I've had German people come in. I've had Japanese people come in. I've had Korean people come in. I've had African people. I've had British people, French people, unfortunately. Canadian people, all kinds of stuff. All kinds of these different people.
They're going to spit on your baguette whenever you go
Yeah,
over
well,
there.
you know what? I'm never going to France.
This is a Zinataksky.
I'm all for unification,
Yeah.
except for France. No, I'm kidding. But they're going to be like, that guy's like racist or something, but not towards a race, just a one country. But I've had all kinds of people come in, and yeah, that's one thing and that's one of the beauties of the internet and social media is you learn through that. That if you don't get the chance to go across to other countries and stuff, that's another way where you get to be like, wait a second, these people are the exact same. They talk to me the same. They got the same memes. They got the same jokes and stuff. Might be written in another language or whatever, but
funny is funny. Yeah.
Funny is funny. Comedy is universal language or anything.
When you can learn more from a comedian than you do like the news,
I think
federal
so.
government, or anything like that,
dude.
like. You really can. That's our society right now. You can learn more from a comedian than anybody
Well,
else.
to be fair, that's always ever since comedy and tragedy have become a thing.
Yeah,
that's always been the way it is entertainment, and it's a cultural thing, and that's why a lot of people are like never censor.
9/11 was an inside job.
Yeah, we're just hitting on it
100%.
underside of it, but
thermite.
But yeah, that's like a cultural thing. Where, you have, and no matter what wars and stuff happen, people are always like, no, do not censor entertainment. Do not censor comedy and movies and this and that. Because at the base of it all, there's truth to those things.
Yeah.
That the government doesn't want out or this or that, but we as a society can agree with. And comedies, since the 80s and 70s, have been a huge thing where it's like, yeah, they're making jokes. And I'll quote J. Cole here, but all good jokes contain true shit. And that's true.
Yeah.
But like 100%. If
More
it's a
truth
good
is
joke
often
and
said
it's
than
funny,
just.
it's because you're like, that's right. That's true. There's
That's
there's
why I
truth
love
to
Bill
that.
Burr.
Yeah.
Bill Burr, he is my spirit animal. Yeah. That guy.
Well, that's why I like Dave Chappelle, even though people give him crap, especially
Dave Chappelle I respect for the same regard, man, is the fact that he tells you, and he's like, you're going to laugh, and then you're realizing, dude, he is totally calling me out because this is exactly the way I think.
And then people are going to be like, argue with this or that, and it's like, but bro, look at the majority of people who laughed about it or this or that. Like, we all understand what he's saying. Mm-hmm. It's not that we agree or this or that, but we understand what he's saying. And it's a break away from everything else as well, where we can laugh about things that we can't normally laugh about or whatever.
Like 3 buildings and 2 planes. Yeah, it's weird.
Anyways, to sum it up,
my week.
You said good for the most part.
I will say good simply because that's the angle in which I choose to view things. I will say good because that's the path I will continue to tread on. There's going to be people that, and this is not sad, but it's reality for me. There's going to be people that I won't hear their voices again. That's a reality.
And that sucks.
but it's a reality, and that's just me trying to be transparent.
Yeah.
And that's where my healing journey is taking me, because my whole life I've chased people, friendships, relationships, with even blood relatives. You know, you chase and you chase and you chase, and I'm tired, guys.
Dude, I feel you.
And I'm not doing that anymore. So
I feel that.
my arms are wide open. Don't.
I
I
realized
realized
him, not me.
God damn it! He had his back. But it was for me. It's my arms will always be wide open. But I'm not chasing you with those arms wide open. Welcome to this place.
I'll show you everything.
Thank you, Alyssa. Your voice is wonderful.
You want a green apple? Or
Yeah,
red?
that's Alyssa singing, by the way,
I'll
guys.
take a green.
So
Alyssa
everyone
has
knows.
so much just bass in her
Yeah,
voice.
she can get that timbre in there.
If you don't mind if I have a green.
No, I mean, these can be drunk.
peeks from us from the door, like what is happening?
But that rounds up my week. I will tell you, and I mean, preference.
Either one.
Um,
I haven't tried the green. I'll try it.
Says like, dang it, that was my green one.
Hey,
Ayo!
you got another one?
Moss
This
green.
is the last one.
Well, I'll take one sip, and if I don't like it, you can have the rest of it.
But then we're gonna drink Dirty Bastards.
Unless we're drinking dirty bastards, that's it.
Jason,
See, I'll legitimately drink your piss before I drink that, I think.
Where's that damn bottle opener?
It's over here, right here, man.
right here.
Right there.
But I'll just say that I guess that kind of concludes. But I want to. We talk about, it's easy to talk about struggles and this, that, and the other. But the other side of my equation is my wife, and dude, she's been working like mad hard, and I have a lot of respect for her.
Yeah.
And
Mad props to your wife, dude.
yeah, relationships are not always about.
That sounded like a joke. But it sounded
Mad
like
props to your. Thank you, bro.
Yes, sir.
I love your wife too, dude.
But I want your wife. Sorry, we'll talk about the
Shout out to
stream
that
later.
guy.
That asshat. Anyway, I want my wife too, buddy. But I'll fight you. I guess the point is the fact is that Angela, we keep a lot of our stuff kind of privatized, but dude, I'm telling you, she is like just stepping up every
She's
which way.
always on it, dude.
It sounds like you're thankful.
Dude, I couldn't be more thankful. The fact that she
Sometimes words are hard to come. Sometimes there's not enough words for it, but yeah, at the base level, it sounds like what you're trying to say is you are thankful and you're grateful.
when I see somebody who's tired and going, I'm picking up another client. Bro, we were just talking about how dog-ass tired we are, and you're telling me you're picking up another client.
Yeah.
That's
It's dedication, dude.
it's dedication, and that is one of the faces of love, man. It's not all roses.
She's
and,
growing another human over there. I mean, like,
right?
I have like the utmost respect for
I
her.
always have. And people have tried to give me
growing another human. Sorry,
No,
yeah,
I mean,
it
but
throws you off.
And people have tried to give me some crap before about it because I've talked about it, but I have endless respect for any woman, whether willing to carry a child and have the child.
Yeah.
Because, dude, you are creating a whole nother thing, dude. A whole nother us.
Whole entire
Dude, that's insane.
being.
And the
two,
level.
two organs, not to mention.
Yeah.
Growing two extra organs on top of that extra human.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Nuts.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
well, no, not nuts. You're having a girl, but yeah.
Yeah.
And the name was decided.
Yeah, no,
Luna?
it's Luna, I guess.
Luna Ray.
Yeah.
That's what I hear.
Yeah.
Luna Ray.
I didn't give the stamp of approval, but
So it may not be
but that-
official.
No, it is official.
Oh.
She's like, I grew it. I get to name it. I'm like, all right, whatever.
So I would start going out
that's
back
how it
I like
everywhere.
it too. So
Everywhere you plant a plant, be like, "This is Bob. This is Richard." You just name the plants. Be like, I'm growing it. I get to name
To
it.
be fair, that's how it
Um,
always goes. Like, there's a discussion, like, oh, I like this name, I don't like this name. This one's a definite no, this or that. But eventually, you hit that wall where it's like, they finally are like, you know what? I'm making this thing. I'll listen to you, but this is the name.
But
And you're
end of the
like,
day,
"Ah."
but here's the thing. Thankfully, there is that power that be, or you'd be marrying Miko right now.
Yeah.
Think about that. It's not a bad name.
I mean, I'm the one that kind of was on the couch in there, and I said, Luna's a good name.
Luna's a great name.
Yeah.
I love Luna. That is a
Luna's
wonderful. I feel Luna to be the correct name for this child.
It's typically a dog or a husky, but I do like the name in terms of people as well. I think more.
I don't think
people
it's
should be-
used enough for people.
Yeah.
Luna. Think about that. Oh, it's a powerful name.
Yeah.
So that
That's
rounded
also-
out my past couple of weeks. Zach, where you sitting, homie?
Oh.
Beside me.
Yeah. I'm trying to make the best of it. And that's largely due to conversations we've had and conversations with all kinds of other people I've had. But we used to have a person in the peanut gallery that we will not have in the peanut gallery anymore.
Goodbye, Joe. No,
Yeah. God damn.
all jest aside.
But yeah, I'm getting a divorce. And the only reason I even want to open up about it in a public forum is because of, from what I understand about some of the stuff that she's already trying to say about me. Although, how believable can that be? Because she's now like in a psych ward and this and that, things like that
Yeah.
that I'm not going to go into super detail on. But yeah, at a basic level, just about a lot of lies. And I've told you about that the whole time we've been together. I've been like, dude, she's lying about this or she's lying about that. And me and Matt, me and you both, and I'm sure Seth as well, because I'm sure Seth and Lexi have had plenty of problems. But I'm always on the side of fighting it out and trying to make it work with someone that you claim that you love.
Mm-hmm.
But there also comes a time, and we also hit upon that a minute ago as well, that you have to think about yourself.
Yeah.
And I have to think about my kid and this or that, and it's gotten to a point that it's like a boy who cried wolf thing, where it's like, how many times are you going to lie or say this or say that until it's true? And then even if it is true right now, I can't know to trust that.
Yeah.
Because of all the lies and previous disloyalties and stuff like that. And I'm not going to go into the disloyalties, but there have been disloyalties. And I'm a person that said if that ever happens to me again, and even like just dating or talking to someone, I'm just going to do away with it immediately. Because I genuinely think at this point I've dealt with enough that I should just do that.
I agree.
But with this one, I was like, you know what? Whatever. I'll try to forgive it and try to move on past it or whatever, because it happened super early, and I was like, this is a person that's been single for a long time. Maybe they need a minute to adjust to being in a relationship. So I tried to be understanding, and I tried to give chance after chance after chance with this person, and they would just constantly come to me and get drunk and confess about things, and confess about lies, confess about further disloyalties, things like that. And then they
Does not make it easy.
And then they made a joke recently that really crossed the line for me, about a child of mine that would have been, that I'll never get the chance for that to be. And whatever side you sit on that politically, it's whatever. And I always face guilt every day because I gave this person that option. Unfortunately, and it hurts me all the time to even think about it, but I gave the person this option. Because I am more left-leaning or whatever, and I do believe their body, their choice, this and that. But at the end of the day, that's still a choice I gave somebody, and they took it. And that's something I will never get to make up to. If you get your kids taken away from you or this or that, you can make it up to them. Mm-hmm. You have a lifetime to make it up to that person. I don't. And they made a joke about that.
Yeah.
And I deal with that. She knows. I've talked about it with her. I deal with that regularly. That guilt of that. And then on top of that, talking about our issues and everything, and then coming to a point where this person told me to kill myself.
Yeah.
And it just crossed the line for me. And I was like, you know what? I can't. And after talking to other people, they're like, dude, this is a potentially dangerous person, Like, they can't, they need help beyond what you can give. And I've tried to help them for the whole time I've known them. And anyways, so that being said and stuff, I've decided to leave this person, divorce them, and attempt to get them help also. Like,
Yeah.
I've made attempts to get this person help while leaving them. I could just leave this person and just do away with it, ghost them, and just be done with it, but I've still, because I love this person, so I'm still trying. I want them to do what's best for them and get themselves help and
Right.
eventually see their kids and this and that. But yeah, I just can't. I have a kid of my own, which now that all this has gone down, she's trying to hinder me seeing the kid of my own, and
Yeah, that's
and
low
yeah,
blows.
so
When kids get involved, it's
it's
chaotic,
nasty,
man.
dude.
Yeah.
It cannot be clean with a kid involved, and it freaking sucks, dude.
and it's like it's bad for you, it's bad for them, but it's worse for the kid.
It is, dude, because now I have to see my daughter this coming up weekend. She's gonna ask me, now I have to deal with her asking me, and I'm not complaining, but I have to deal with her coming up to me and be like, oh, where's this person,
just tell her she's at the
Yeah.
doctor.
Yeah, and I mean, at the
That's
end of
truth.
the day, that's where she is, and
Right.
again, as volatile as she's being toward me, I maintain that I hope she does what's right for her, and I hope she gets help, but I can't.
The eruption almost made a second coming. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
And I was like, wait,
great.
he's like over here. He's brewing on the point. But
I just can't. I can't. And you've known me,
Yeah.
and you know that I'm the type of person that.
Yeah.
I've had issues with people left and right, and I always try to work it out if I can. If they want to talk to me, and if they want, if they want
well,
to deal
hell,
with it.
dude, you and me, we had a conversation right down that patio where I mean, it was either going to be we were going to talk or one of us was going to get the shit beaten out of the other one.
Yeah, and I told you
And-
to your face. I was like, "Hey, man, here's some stuff that happened. Here's how it went."
Yeah.
And I'm not claiming I'm a great guy or this or that.
No, well, you
because-
became a greater guy to me in the fact that we had a conversation.
Yeah. Yeah, and I told you to your face. I was like, if you want to beat the crap out of me right now, I'm not even gonna put up a fight, dude. I'll take it.
I remember that well.
Yeah,
But
and-
anytime, and we'll go back onto your topic because I have something I want to say on that topic too. But anytime that somebody would rather have words than exchange blows, I'll talk with you.
yeah. I mean, if you go, we've both done martial arts, and that's one of the first things they teach you is why not try to talk yourself out of that situation.
De-escalate the situation.
De-escalation is key before violence is.
Yeah, we're going to talk about it, but in case it gets to the point.
Yeah, I want to
then
know
it's
how
like-
to beat you up if it gets to that point, but
Beat me up.
Not you per se, but
I was just
just
say, bring a
whoever,
weapon, man,
really.
because I don't quit. I'm an Umber Hulk. I don't quit fighting. So I've never, when I get especially when I get hurt, pain goes away, and I just keep fighting.
Yeah,
so
It's funny on that. I'll say this, and then I'll shut up. But
no,
when I
you're
learned,
here to talk, bro.
No, but like when I learned in the military combatives and then in extension jujitsu, the guy my jujitsu teacher has a similar saying, you know just enough to get your ass beat. Like, and that you always got to treat it that way. It's like there's always somebody that fucking knows more. There's the first F-bomb.
Well,
Whoops.
that's the only. It's PG. We're still PG.
PG-13.
We're still PG, Disney.
We get the one.
But I think we each get one. I said shit earlier. Well, I've said it twice now, but
I said piss or something.
piss is that's a British term.
Yeah.
We're not mad at the British. It's just the French.
Don't talk about British terms.
but the,
and some other stuff.
My biological dad, I took Kenpo. It was a form of martial arts that I took, and I remember I was doing like some practice or training and stuff, and I was excited. You try again chasing people. You try to build that bond, and let me show you something cool I know, or whatever. And he told me he was a military guy too. He told me the same thing. He said, "You know just enough to get yourself hurt."
Yep.
Yeah.
That's it.
And I was
man.
just like, "How demeaning, you dick." That's the first dick. Second, but
whatever.
yeah. But I was just like,
If you're listening this deep,
Yeah.
You're awesome.
You're an hour and 48 in. We
You're here
do
for you.
need to be mindful of time. I did get some feedback that we've been going a little long, so we need to be a little mindful of time on the. We've still got a little time, but we've been. I've heard some feedback that man, I can't listen to your whole podcast, and by the time I get to listen again, it's gone.
Listen the next day at work. Come on, guys, get it.
Be diligent.
To me, it's never been an issue, and that's because I listen to D&D podcasts and stuff where they play like 5 or 6 hour sessions. So I'll pause, come back, pause, come back, pause, come back. But that's me. But and not everyone can do that.
But I will say on your note earlier, I mean, I can tell it's bothered you, and I've tried to be here for you, and I hope you know that.
Yep.
And I still will continue to be. That person, they do need help, and it puts me in a. It doesn't put me. It's because I care about you, and I cared about that person. It puts me in a predicament in that sense that I want them to get help.
Yeah.
And I want them, truthfully, because I have been there for them and listened to and been a shoulder for them through their journey that they went through or are going through. And for them to make the decisions they're making, they're not doing so with a good mind. And I mean that as no slight.
No, for sure.
It's just this person needs help, and I really, really hope they get it. That's coming from my heart.
We can all really, just on a lighter note, we can all use help.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
for sure.
And being able to admit you need it is a hard part sometimes.
You were talking earlier about internalizing things.
Yeah.
And just advice, dude to dude, real quick. I found comfort whenever I'm internalizing things on those 40-minute drive homes to just take 10 minutes and talk to God about it.
Yep.
And, like, it helps, man. Like, even just speaking it out loud does wonders. Like, I feel like I was always getting mad, like, oh, I'm internal. Like, I got to internalize everything. I got to internalize my feelings. I can't lean on, X, Y, and Z.
I've always been a writing.
I can always lean on God. Because he always is there. He always answers, but, like, you don't get an answer right away.
No, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I've always been a writing
His perfect
dude.
timing.
That's one of the things that I learned, especially when I started going to therapy, because I used to write a lot as a kid and have journals or this or that. And then when I got into therapy and stuff, the therapist was like, sometimes we don't want to talk to other people or, we don't want to talk out loud. So writing in like a journal helped me a whole lot because it's essentially the same thing because you're streamlining your thoughts into something and later you can read it back, but also you feel almost as if you're having a conversation. I don't know if you've ever kept a journal or anything, but when you're writing, in your head as you're writing, that's kind of how it feels. Is like you're just having a conversation, but giving your side of the conversation or whatever to talk about, and you almost start to converse with yourself, where you start to be like I did this today or whatever, and I feel bad for this, but you know what, this happened, and and you start having this internal conversation, and as a recently religious man, I'd like to attribute that to God, because there's been times before that I've written in journals or whatever, and I didn't have that internal conversation. It was just the one-sided thing. But there was no, and trying to see this side of it, or trying to see a positive in it, or this or that. And I'd like to attribute it to God that, as I'm writing, those things hit me, where I'm writing, and I'm like, you know what? But, now this is happening, or I've learned this, or this or that, and it's there's just something extremely therapeutic about talking to yourself, talking to God, writing it down.
Oh, yeah. Definitely. Mine used to come in the form of poetry. I used to write a lot
I do a lot
poetry.
You've seen a lot of my poetry, but yeah, I do a lot of poetry as well, where it's just, there's something therapeutic in that, too, where it's like trying to pick and choose the right words and phrases and stuff and putting them together so that you can read them and be like, that's
mine
how
were
I
always
feel.
cryptic. I wrote them in such a way that if you read it, you would have no idea what in the hell I was talking about.
Yeah.
But if I went back and read it again, I would remember what I was going through.
Yeah.
For me,
well, that's
the
the
best
beauty of
therapy
poetry.
is, and I don't have this. That's why, hey, anytime that you're trying to, do some yard work,
Yeah.
man, taking that axe out there and just chopping some wood,
It's the hands.
did
dude.
wonders,
Doing
man.
Pour me out.
It was like the mental reset that I needed. It's
Doing something with your hands.
I'm stuck behind a freaking office chair, man.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, looking at a screen all day long, I'm just answering emails, getting in meetings, 50 meetings a week. It's like, chill out, man. Let me work.
Yeah.
But
I put in between 15 and 20,000 steps a day in a 3,000, 4,000 square foot building.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trapped.
Yeah,
but
well-
that's you think about that, and it's just
Yeah.
I'm my hamster in a cage.
Constantly, yeah.
I'm licking the glass, and I
Yeah.
go back and forth, and
despite all my rage,
I'm
Yeah.
still just a
rat
hamster in a cage. But or a rat, yeah.
Yeah.
Rats are cool.
When
Hamsters
I
suck.
was an electrician, it was the same way. There's something to constantly moving and constantly doing.
Yeah.
Messing with wires and everything, like especially electrical for me, because I was like getting to sit there and like, you know, twist these wires together and make sure everything's all connected and secure great, and you know, making sure everything's stripped the right way where it's not going to touch metal or this or that, and then sealing it up and moving on to the next one. You see that gradual progress, and you see that you're making progress, and it just keeps your mind focused
It does.
on
Well,
something.
it's like you called out earlier. You know, as men, it's doing things with your hands. You know, whether it's swinging an axe that's way too heavy, or if it's putting together wires, or if it's doing a voodoo doll for my enemies. Whatever it is, you know, it's, I'm doing something with my hands. But you know, all positivity towards you, man. It's like I told you, I'm never an advocate for divorce. I'm not.
I'm not either. I'm
but-
a person that's. I mean, you've seen some of the relationships I've been in. Like there was not a super long. There was like a 2-week, 3-week relationship I had right before this one that was stressful as heck, and I was still trying to find some way to work through those things or whatever. And because I'm always that type of person. Because I think, say we were to, no one's normal, but say we were to take two normal people, perfectly medicated, and you know, they've moved past their traumas or whatever, and you put them together, even if they didn't love each other, I genuinely think they could still make a relationship work.
Yeah.
If they're willing to make it work.
Happiness and
And
slavery.
that's
kind
my
of
thing,
mentality.
is where that's my thing always, where it's like, I'm not always going to agree with every single person, and I'm not always going to agree with the person I love or whatever. We're different humans. We have free will and everything, you know. It's not always going to line up 1-to-1.
Yeah.
But the fact that you care for someone to the point that you're willing to work it out and work with it, there's beauty in that, first of all. But then on top of that, there's to me, that's what a relationship is, and is finding those compromises and stuff to make sure that you're happy and you two can be happy together.
Yeah.
And that's not to say to rely on another person for your happiness, but
No,
to find
that's
peace
silly.
and happiness together.
Yeah. Find things in your life together that make you happy.
There's always going to be problems.
There always
with
will be.
For sure.
everywhere, but like, as long as you're faithful to each other,
Yeah.
that's the most. I personally believe that's the most crucial
Faithfulness
part.
is critical.
You can get
Yeah.
mad at each other all you want. You can
100%.
sleep on couches 100 times over.
Yep.
As long as you both are oriented towards the same
Yes.
goal of like working it out, making
Yeah.
it good, then
And that's something I talked about on my podcast, because someone brought that up on stream last night. That someone said something similar, and I was like, you know what? I agree with that entirely, but that should be the bare minimum that a person's willing to do
Not cheat.
Yeah.
if they love you.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
be faithful and loyal.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, we're gonna get mad at each other, dude. I don't care how much I love someone. You're gonna get to a point that, I mean, there's gonna be a point that me and you are not gonna. Well, we don't see eye to eye on a lot of things.
I hate you.
Yeah,
No, I'm joking.
but there's things
Yeah.
like that where it's like, yeah, we're not gonna agree on certain
Yeah.
things. But it's figuring out how to move past that and be okay with
Not
that.
letting-
and,
we're finding compromise.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
and
old
it's like-
saying that no longer exists is agree to disagree. That doesn't. People say that a lot, but they don't mean it.
Well, yeah, everyone says it now and they say it passive aggressively.
Yeah, I guess
we're just gonna
I
agree
guess I'll
on-
just agree to disagree.
Yeah, dude. I like your sassy, Brad. But yeah, it's the whole. I'm gonna say let's maybe 30 minutes more, and we should
I
probably.
was going to say we haven't talked about magic yet, or the stream, or
No, we
government
haven't.
conspiracies.
So,
or...
but I just want to reach out to the community, you guys that listen. Just keep positivity for Zach and Celeste, man. Just I mean, we all sometimes if you wound a lion, it does stupid things, right? So just remember the people are wounded here, and just all kind of positivity. If you're a praying sort, pray for them, and just I think I not being an advocate for divorce or things ending in this light, I think you're making the right decision because you're thinking about more than just yourself.
Yeah.
And I'm on the record for saying that because I'm not an advocate for divorce at all.
Yeah, no, I'm not.
But sometimes things like this have to happen. Maybe it's in my hopeful mind is it's going to be better for her in her situations that she's trying to resolve. That this will force her hand to make her make those decisions.
I think it will.
And for you, that you heal here now on the podcast. I'm on public in front of God and everybody that's in this room. Just that you take this time to heal.
Yeah.
Don't be stupid.
Yeah. No.
Heal
Yeah,
and be there for your daughter. That's my challenge to you as a man to man. Just sometimes you need those accountability partners and. Telling you're not asking me. I'm going to be there. I'm going to make sure and hold you accountable to that.
Right.
Make sure you do what you need to do for you and for Ember.
Get right. Don't jump into something like don't entertain anything like do for you right now. This is your time to self-reflect.
Yes.
And get it to where
to
get yourself where you need to be before you're ready to take on something completely new because. If you do that, like man, you're doing yourself such a disservice,
and you're doing somebody else a disservice too.
That too, yeah.
Because you're like, hey, it's on sale because I'm broken. Yeah, nobody wants to buy it. A sale is cool, but man, let it be whole.
Let it be a bargain rather than something that's broken.
Yeah. Speaking of broken goods, you can buy our sponsor. I'm joking, but that was a joke. No, but real quick, we'll touch on our sponsors, US Pawn and Loan, man. They don't have any broken stuff. There is a table that's at the front of the store when you walk into the vestibule. That there are some items that are not 100%, right?
They're artifacts.
Those things are 50% off, and that's way below retail already, but 50% off that because, like, there's a couple of PC towers there, right?
Yeah. They need some love, care, and
the operating systems are ancient, but there's RAM sticks, there's all kinds of stuff. If there's an artist that has a creative mind that wants to take a chassis and build something cool out of it, you can pick up this stuff for dirt cheap, literally, not the store. But
dirty deeds.
Thunder cheap. But is it Thunder Chief or Dun Dirt Cheap? Anyway, that's another whole thing. But anyway, you go in there, there's that. Everything else in the store, fully functional, good stuff. And they had an amazing lot bash this past weekend.
Heard about it.
Got to see a lot of very familiar, loving, smiling faces that showed up in support of it. Had some amazing bands that played. Shout out to the live music, dude. Chris Baker Band blew my mind.
Well, for ye.
Yeah.
All right, I'll quit. I'm stopping.
Yeah, the Chris Baker Band rocked everything they played, from the singers and the guitarist to the drummer. That dude, I'm telling you, it was 90 million degrees outside. This guy had a fan blowing even hotter air on him, and he is not missing a beat on these drums. Comes in the store, drenched in sweat, still had the time to talk to me and Zach. We were up there. We had a good time, and I want to thank everybody that showed up just in support of Daryl and Rebecca and their family and the store itself and the rebirth of something new they're trying to do there. It's a super cool thing. It was a great time for all involved. A lot of local vendors. Shout out to you guys too. But super cool experience. I just want to say thanks to US Pawn and Loan for continuing to sponsor the podcast. Even though you guys never know what we're going to do when we get on this thing. And we go in 8 billion different directions. You guys you love us enough and you support us to keep supporting us and sponsoring us. And we keep shouting you guys out for that too because we love you too. That's going to wrap on the US Pawn and Loan bit. But the stream last night.
Huge.
Really good, dude. Really, especially for you, dude.
Unsolicited,
unannounced
stream, and I jump in. You already had like 4 followers, and
that's usually
likes.
A great night. Yeah,
and I was like, "Holy crap, dude!" Like I looked at Lex, and
you jumped in quick. Like
he's got like there pretty 4 followers already. Next thing I know, I was like, "What is going on?"
Like, it is so good.
It went ham, and thanks to Seth, he sent me a Galaxy last night. Watching the live stream, so thank you for that.
Apparently, a huge thing on TikTok.
Yeah, you send somebody a Galaxy. Let me tell you what.
Yeah,
I'll tell you what.
You go into any live stream and people are like any live stream where they know what's going on. They're like, Well, if you give me a Galaxy, I'll do this.
I'll send
Give
you
me
a private message, winky face.
Yeah.
And it's
You can have my Fortnite account if you send me a Galaxy.
yeah, and I get sent a Galaxy from the guy with the amazing timbre in his voice that's sitting here beside me. He sent me a Galaxy last night. I was like, what the heck? So I posted that
helly?
video. What the helly?
Say it
What
like
the
you
helly?
There you go.
Um,
What the hell?
yeah. But it did. Lexi, when she came over tonight, she was like, Dad, your stream popped off.
Yeah,
And
dude.
I was like, yeah, it really did.
Yeah.
It was
37 new followers from one
Did you
stream.
see how many unique viewers you had?
It was over 500.
Yeah, something like that, because you constantly had above 5 viewers or something,
Yeah.
which sounds
Dude, it was
not
like-
great to some people, but these are...
That's people riding with you on
TikTok-
TikTok.
TikTok is people like jumping through constantly and stuff. So you had a constant flow of people coming in and following,
And sticking around.
engaging, saying word, playing games. I mean, it
Mhm.
was just it was pretty good, dude.
We-
It was crazy.
And we actually got some compliments too, because neither Zach or I, either one, are assholes. And when Seth plays with us, he's not an asshole. We were just like, hey, cool, we're here to have fun. We don't get much time like this, so we're enjoying this time. We're playing a game.
We got a lot of people saying that, like, man, you guys seem like you're just having a good time.
Yeah, that was like a
I was going to
resounding
say
voice.
that was like one of the things that your stream has going for it. You and Zach play together. You have me and Lex to kind of come in and keep the chat, going, talk to the new people. But
Right.
the biggest thing is like,
And thank you guys for that last night.
Of
We had a
course.
shit ton of people pop
But,
in.
like,
So
the biggest thing that I think that like is so cool about your stream is that like you'll pick up somebody random and
Yeah.
be like, hey man, let's play. Like,
Yep.
who gives a shit? Like, send the invite. And
Yeah, we never
we'll
care if
pick
they're
you in.
bad or good.
Yeah.
I'm not going to judge you. If you suck, maybe it's just 1 or 2 games. Yeah, I'll let you
Yeah.
shake off the rust on the first one. The second one, hey, you're
You're
proving.
trying out for a pro team. Get it together.
Yeah.
Come
We're
on.
a sponsored team, man. No, I'm not a tryhard like that. Neither is Zach, man. There are some games we do take personally, like Vampire the Masquerade. We get a little lit on that game.
Don't come in there and stand still and try to reload.
No, bro. Oh, Damien.
God bless him.
Guys,
dude.
what's this red stuff going around me?
Is Damien here?
I love him to death.
Man, that was a strong
He's
4,
such-
5, 6 comment right there.
Yeah,
He's such a good
Oh.
dude, man.
Yeah,
But
Damien is
such a
one of the
good dude.
best souls I know in
God
this
bless
life.
him.
But
Yeah, the Vampire
he's
the
like,
Masquerade.
there's this red
I
mist
felt-
as he's
I felt-
reloading, standing there. I'm like, bro, you got to move.
I felt so bad for him dude, because in the moment I'm a competitive dude. I've played competitive games, made money doing it or whatever, and so like I'm in it, you know. And,
Yeah,
and sometimes that even makes us like say some things to each other, but
like me cracking on you for your defense or
Yeah,
lack
yeah.
thereof last night.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, if it's Rocket League, you're cracking on me. If it's
Yeah.
Vampire, I'm cracking on you.
That's
but,
fair.
or Splitgate or whatever, and then but yeah, God bless
Or
him.
Marvel
I love him
Snap,
to
yeah.
death, dude. He's such a cool dude. He's such a chill dude, and he's helped me because I've talked to him
Yeah.
personally and stuff about things and stuff leading up to everything that happened with me recently, and he's such a good dude. But yeah, that Vampire, I felt so bad because in the moment I was like, bro, you gotta move. I was like, stop standing still. I was like, you gotta move.
You're
And-
shooting at the wall. Stop.
yeah, I was like, dude, you're looking at the wall.
Hey guys, can I ask you something real quick? How do I?
And I was like,
He's
how do
dead
I
again.
Climb the wall.
That's what he asked. He said, "How do I climb the wall?"
It's
It's
like, jump at it.
Jump at the wall. You'll instantly start climbing, Damien. No, man. I do. I actually was talking to Damien and told him I miss playing games with him, man. And I'll give him a shout out on the podcast, right? So,
That's bad,
Rocket
by the
League,
way. I
huh?
don't like that.
You don't like that?
If you're in the Philippines, go to his restaurant. Don't
Yeah.
know what the name is?
Taste of
Search
Joy.
Taste
Taste of
Nuts,
Joy.
and you'll find it.
Yeah, he does sell.
sells
He
peanut
does sell
butter.
peanut butter and stuff on his own, and D's Nuts. That's his brand of nuts that he sells because his name is Damien. Get your mind out of the gutter,
It's
audience.
not D-E-Z. It's D
apostrophe
apostrophe S.
S.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it
Come
is
on.
D's Nuts. But he does run, it's a multi-chain restaurant called Taste of Joy in the Philippines. So if you guys are listening from the Philippines, that is the Damien we're talking about. Go tell him, hey, dude, don't stand still.
And he's such a
Laugh
good
at
dude.
him.
He's such a good dude.
Yeah, he is a great guy.
And
Mention that
he's-
you
he's-
heard from the podcast, and you may get a 10% discount. We'll
He's-
have to run it by Damien, but
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
I'm
for sure. Yeah.
And it was a little bit of a joke, but he was talking to me about what was going on and stuff. And he it was a joke last night in the stream, but he legitimately was like, yeah, once I get this place fixed up, man, if you want to come to the Philippines, come to the Philippines, for a fresh start or whatever. And And I don't know if I'd ever do that, but it's more of the fact that he even offered that because he's paying money to fix up this place and he's willing to
I'll have
offer
to show
it
you
to
pictures
me.
of his place. Him and his wife Elaine, man. They're doing amazing things, and I'm super happy for them. Super proud of them. They're good people. I bitch. I complain. I'm like, dang it, because someone spilt tea in my controller. I noticed one day because it wasn't being used anymore and it was back on my desk. And I was like, oh, weird.
I thought you were about to give us the drama.
Yeah,
when you said spilled tea, I was like...
Oh, no. It was spilled actual sweet tea.
Yeah.
And,
how do you spell someone?
Autumn.
I spell someone that starts with an A. It's my favorite season. She denies it, so I'm not going to hold her to it because I don't drink sweet tea upstairs. But anyway, all of a sudden my controller wasn't being used, and she started using a PlayStation controller on a computer, which was super cool. I was like, that's cool. So I have my controller back, so I don't have to ask her for it. Yeah. And I get on, it's like, and I'm like, what the...
What's that old saying? Whoever denied it, supplied it.
Yeah. So I take the controller. I start tapping the controller, and I'm seeing like actual brownish sugar crystals coming out of my controller. I'm like, Autumn? And she was like, oh, it's really weird. I'm like, yeah, isn't it? Isn't it weird? You know? So,
isn't that odd?
That's so odd, Tom.
Who else used this? I know Angela didn't.
No, but she swears it was not her.
Oh my gosh, Angela got you with that fart spray the other day.
Oh,
sorry,
that was so bad. Oh, that's actually on her TikTok. I think she put it out there.
I wasn't present for that. That was the one day that I couldn't jump in.
That was that kid Corey. His laugh too, man. Oh my god, it was contagious.
Oh my gosh, dude, you were just like,
what is that smell?
You thought she?
I thought because she walks up by me and walks off, and right then is when it wafts into my nose, and I was like, my wife stinks. I was like, how do I tell this to her? And I was like, what is that? You know,
you don't want to be rude, but it's like, yeah.
I'm looking around like, did
it's like, how do I tell this person I love that they smell like crap?
But then she walks back. She's got Poe, our bearded dragon. She walks off and she comes back, and I think I said something. I was like, what are you feeding her or something like that? And she's like, vegetables. I was like, what kind of vegetables? You know? And I was like, that's so bad. And I was just like looking at that point, like, did I step in something in my shoes? You know, what is this? And and then all the while I'm thinking, why does my wife stink so bad, and how do I break this to her? But she nailed me with some fart spray upstairs. It was well played. But a shout out to Damien again because he got sick of hearing me bitch about the sticky controller, so he bought me a new controller and shipped to me. Dude, bro. What a hero!
Didn't he get you also like Dead by Daylight too?
Yes, he also bought me Dead by Daylight.
How many times have we been playing and I made it a point when you would say something, I'd be like, well, just get a new controller.
He's like, brother, I work at a game store. Yeah, and,
I was like, we sell them for like cheap, dude. Get a controller.
Yeah, but shout out to Damien. You're a hero, man. We love you. And here at Beer and Wings, and just as individuals, we all have reasons we respect you madly. And you're a good dude. So, without further ado, gentlemen.
Do you believe the moon landing was real?
No.
Psychic spies from China
trying to steal your mind's elation.
I don't believe we landed on the moon. I don't believe we have ever, and I don't believe we will ever land on the moon.
That's the end of Beer and Wings, guys. Thank you for
listening. See you next time. We appreciate you. No, I really don't. There was a this was in 99? Yeah, because my ex-wife was pregnant with Lexi, and we were watching. It was called Conspiracy Theory: The Moon Landing was the name of the show. Never before had I ever doubted that we'd ever landed on the moon. Ever.
So shout out, because you convinced Matt.
Yeah. And
even though now as an adult and growing up in the internet age, I've had all this information at my disposal, and I still believe that we landed on the moon.
I don't. Look at the impossibilities of getting there.
We've talked.
Planning the trajectory.
I mean, I can see it from here. It's only like this far apart.
I know. And if I zoom in with my Samsung phone at 100 times, it's huge. But did you know that Samsung had to come out and admit that is an AI-generated moon that you see when you zoom in?
That's bizarre.
If you can show me the proof of that,
I will.
From a
.org?
No, just somewhere that has the source that I can trace back to Samsung themselves saying
it's a .onion address though, so you have to kind of.
Oh, I just saw an Onion article the other day that was hilarious. Oh my god, what was it? It was something about.
So this is from Samsung's official page.
Okay.
Since the S10, I'll just read the whole article.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Let me know.
I'll just accept all cookies. Since the Galaxy S10, Galaxy smartphone cameras have included Scene Optimizer. This camera function uses advanced AI to recognize object. Since the Galaxy S21 series, Scene Optimizer has had the capacity to recognize that you're taking a picture of the moon as an object. This means that the Detail Enhancement Engine, a key feature of the scene, is optimized and applied to photos of the moon. When you take a photo of the moon, your Galaxy device realizes what you're doing. The camera system uses deep learning-based AI along with multi-frame processing to enhance all details.
That doesn't say anything to me about it being a faked image. It just means that it knows it's the moon. Because we have AI imaging software that will be like, oh, I'm taking a picture of a flower. So I'm going to enhance the details of said flower that I believe it is so that I can tell you what flower it is. Because that's the same type of software that works when we use these softwares. It's like, what type of flower is this? What type of bee is this? What type of blah, blah, blah is this? It's the same, from what I'm hearing, it's the same verbiage that they use for identification of plants or anything, where it's like, okay, we recognize you're taking a picture of the moon, so we understand how to correct contrast and everything to make the moon pop better. I don't hear any...
Pretty sick, though.
Yeah, that was.
I don't...
So is that AI generated?
No.
So I
because that was actually like it wasn't a Crips.
Yeah.
Crips.
Well, Crips.
What up,
It
blood?
was
It wasn't a crisp.
Shout out to K-Dot, bro. But to me, the verbiage doesn't imply anything that's fake. It just implies that it's using the AI to enhance the photo, the settings of the photo, because it tells you when you start to zoom into 100%. The first time I got my Samsung Galaxy S24 or whatever, it tells me straight up.
So my biggest tip, I was going to let Zach finish. I'm sorry, I wasn't trying to
You're
distract
good,
you,
dude.
but like, when's the last time we went to the moon?
We've never.
Well,
He doesn't.
according to like,
What was it 1969?
why the frick have we not been back?
Because we lost the technology. That's it.
No,
That's
no,
it.
no,
that's-
no,
that's-
wait, hold on.
That's an actual.
We've been back to the moon.
We have
Not
not.
America. But we as humans have been back to the moon as recent as last year.
So there's some like I think we've been there.
Like, there was I think
an
it was either
extent.
Russia or China that did it last year. Like, it just happened.
When is the last time someone landed on the moon?
But like, you also got to think. AI
The last
is-
time-
Don't tell me the Google AI answer.
Why? It searches all the internet and brings you back
I
facts.
understand that. but
DuckDuckGo that shit.
Yeah, but well,
Okay.
to be fair, Google AI has been proven at this point to sometimes it sums up answers based on the first few sponsored
It's too liberal.
websites. It is too it's too liberal, dude. To be fair, yeah, from what the research
Is
suggests,
Wikipedia
is that
okay
Google-
or no?
No.
Wikipedia, anybody can go
I
in
can
and
edit,
input
I can
anything.
edit Wikipedia right now, dude.
I'll go DuckDuckGo. Hold on.
Yeah, DuckDuckGo that ish.
What is DuckDuckGo? I've never heard of that.
What?
It's
That is the
it's a
most important,
Is
very
search
secure
engine,
browser.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is it?
dude. Like, you can literally search anything.
I thought
like,
.tens or whatever was the.
I mean, like, DuckDuckGo
Browser,
is a
browser.
public search engine that you can go through, and they prioritize privacy, but also give you non-biased things. You're not going to get like when you search something on Google.
Yeah, you get the sponsored stuff first.
Yeah, exactly. You're not going to get that with DuckDuckGo.
The last man to ever walk on the moon was in December of 1972.
Why? Yeah, dude. Come on, we're 50 plus years at this point.
Now, before, there are official answers from NASA saying they lost the technology.
How do you lose the technology?
Right.
Show me
Second
that.
off,
Show me
I'll
that
find
where
it for
they
you.
say
I
that.
will find. We're running a little low on time,
Yeah.
so I will find it for you. We can
Yeah.
continue this discussion after because I love this.
Well,
kind of
because
stuff.
we've had this discussion before,
But
and I'm like,
now the answer is it was just too expensive to go back. That doesn't make sense.
We spend more than
We
the
spend-
next 25 countries combined on a defense budget. And you're
Mhm.
going to tell me it's too expensive to go back
You
to
can
the
Google that
moon?
yourselves. I say Google it. You can research it yourselves on your phones or computers.
To be fair, I'm not excusing it either because
Yeah.
that's wacky. But to be fair, their excuse is that we need the money based on defense. But also, all the military dudes that I know are like, dude, they waste that money on like on this or that, and so it's like, I don't know, man. I think we went to the moon, and I don't believe an excuse that. I don't believe that kind of excuse, and it's not that I don't believe that it's.
Why haven't we been back?
There's nothing there.
Hold on.
What's the point of going?
Why
to the
would
moon?
we go to Mars if there's nothing there? I mean, like, there's nothing on Mars.
I'm not saying there's nothing on Mars or whatever, but
The
we've
moon
been to
itself
the moon.
is so interesting because, like, you see all the like, you can look at a telescope, all the Samsung Galaxy cameras
Well, no,
combined.
but what I was saying earlier, we know more about the moon than we do our own brains.
Or ocean.
Or the ocean, and which is also that's a whole. We should do a whole episode on the ocean.
Yeah.
Yeah, but anyways, but yeah, that's kind of my thing where it's like, there's not much to know about the moon, based on anything I've ever read about the moon.
But we haven't been there since 1972. How would we know?
Because to be fair, there's nothing there. It's just an asteroid that's in our orbit, basically.
I'm gonna blow your mind real quick.
Okay.
Tonight when you go home after the podcast, look at the earliest, like, just try to search as far back as you possibly can for the earliest recorded documents of the moon.
Hmm.
You will find that I found something really interesting when I did that. You get to, I don't remember the exact date, but it's like BC, obviously.
Yeah.
The moon wasn't there apparently until like 2500 BC and beyond.
That's I 100%.
Which is like, it threw me for a war, bro.
I
was like,
100%
what?
believe. I 100% believe the moon wasn't there originally, because genuinely, from what we know about it, from what samples and stuff we took of it, and what we know about it, and what samples of robots and stuff that we've sent there, and to bring back organisms or this or that or microorganisms or whatever. From what we know everything about it, and that is to say that it is an asteroid.
What if Star Wars
probably
is right and it's the Death Star just looking at
Oh
us every
no!
day?
We gotta get off of here, bro.
Alderaan, it's you're all gone, and they're gonna yeah.
But no, I
don't, and I will not, and because we could actually do an episode just on the moon landing if you want to, because the photos taken that were shared with the public were fake.
Yeah,
there's proof.
I would say most of the early photos, I agree on, because we've seen, people have come out and talked about it in this.
The autofocus things were like behind a flag or in front of and it was like, that's not possible.
However, I will say that a lot of recent photos and stuff are pretty similar to those early photos. I'm not saying the early photos are true, because we know that they're not.
A phone call to President Nixon from the moon.
Yeah, whether we want to believe it or not, we know that some of that stuff was fake for sure, and I can agree with that as someone that's telling you that I think we went to the moon. However, I also know that a lot of our recent photos of the moon and things that we have seen of the moon, that we know for sure tracking metadata, because that's the thing with pictures and stuff, we can track metadata now. Metadata cannot be adjusted. Take this from someone who does edits and does logos and all this illustration and stuff like that. You cannot adjust metadata. It is
as technology that you possess can not edit metadata.
I guess.
He says, I digress.
I guess. But metadata is built up on ones and zeros and binary code that the camera or the computer or whatever makes itself. So it's stuff that is imprinted into this file that we, as far as my technology says,
now there's a statement
that we can't adjust, and that's why even in court people look at the metadata, like with the whole. That was a big thing. No one knew who metadata was. I mean, I knew what metadata, but not a whole lot of people as the general public knew what metadata was till like the Johnny Depp and Amber Heard thing. Because they realized, you can look at the metadata and see if someone adjusted something or picked this or that.
Fair.
And as far as the metadata tells us, a lot of these new photos and stuff, the only thing ever adjusted is contrast. And that's fair, because take any kind of picture of anything that you want, and if you want it to look pretty, contrast or saturation is going to be one of the first things that you adjust. Right. And I say that as a person that took photography classes and have made money as doing photography before, or streaming even. My camera has contrast adjusted.
Yeah.
That's the big thing, is because
it brings out your good side.
You want the darks to be dark, you want the light, and that's HDR TV and stuff nowadays. You want darks to be dark, you want lights to be light. You want people to be able to understand what they're seeing on a closer level to what our eyes can see. So you're going to adjust contrast and saturation.
So you still believe
You
in...
cannot adjust contrast and saturation to a point to make an image completely make something that doesn't exist.
So you believe that in just asking, I'm not
Yeah,
making fun of
okay,
you because I
yeah.
don't know that I'm right or wrong. I believe that I'm right.
Yeah.
1969.
Mhm.
You know how crappy technology was back then compared to where
Yes.
we are now.
Yes.
At least see, and like, but you say that, but like, I look at technology right now, and I look at what we have the access to. I think that they had the ability to make smartphones as they exist today back in like the 60s.
They didn't have the
50s.
know-how.
They didn't have know-how, but they knew they had the tech.
I mean, computers would take up a room this size.
All it-
dude.
that we knew of, though.
Well,
That's-
right, we didn't know. I mean, could they have made them? Yes, but they had to continue to advance.
As
technology.
stuff gets secret and as gets declassified, I figured that out. Like, being overseas, there was like a thing that basically they put it to me like this, and I won't get into the specifics because it's TS. But if you wanted to take, there was a 50-story building. You wanted to take out floor 25 and leave 26 and 24 untouched. We have the capabilities to do that.
I believe that.
Right.
But like that had an extension to just the technology as it's grown to this day.
Well, to be fair, most scientists will tell you straight up, because we don't. When you talk about history, you talk about golden ages of this or that. We live in a golden age of technology, and we have for like 150 years.
Maybe. Because
It's because
you look at the Great Flood and how much technology was lost, or the burning of the Great Library of Alexandria,
City of Atlantis,
which I think is legitimate.
the thing is, with an era of a golden age of something, the reason they call it golden age is just the speed at which we can increase something, the speed at which we can improve on something.
Yeah.
And so the speed at which 100 years ago, we didn't even have this.
Oh, no.
And to us nowadays, this is simple. It's just gold, silver, some other things, platinum, and stuff like that, and then it makes this. And then we use wires and whatnot to connect it. We use radio waves, which have always existed.
And now we can sit here and record our voice, and then we can take this voice and put it on a podcast that you guys are all going to be listening to later.
Yeah.
It's wild.
Yeah,
Space race are my two words I throw out there. Space race.
Yeah. Yeah, well, we've talked about it loosely, and I know a lot of, and it's not just you, but it's a lot of people that believe that we haven't been to the moon and whatnot. We
had to say we were because we had to beat the Russians.
A large part of the belief is that we had to be the one to do this first.
And we were the ones that ended up rushing there. Yeah, no. I think it was something, and even the Russians on this, I'll have to find it for you and send it to you, but it was in the 90s, so bear in mind it's not the greatest whatever, but they did uncover a lot of things, and they raised a lot of great questions. Mm-hmm. And one of which were your top Russian scientists, which they're not idiots by any stretch, are going, they didn't land on the moon. It's impossible. We can't get there.
Yeah, see, we didn't even get into it, but there's like some sort of like field or like cloud or
that you will burn up and die if you try to leave it.
If you have like a heat shield or whatever, like if you try to leave this cloud. But I advocate for our moon, like just wholeheartedly, because during the certain times of the year in July, late June and July, and then another time in September to like October.
Yeah.
Earth passes through the Toward meteor stream,
Mm-hmm.
and the moon keeps us alive, man. There's a lot of meteors that hit the moon rather than hit us.
That thing's operational.
Yeah.
To your point and to your credit, though, if that's true, and I know it is because I've also read about it, and that's something
Maybe getting tagged.
Yeah, that you can read. That's something you can read about easily about the Toward meteor stream and everything. But who's to say there wasn't a giant asteroid that came through and that's the moon now? And from what we know about testing soil and stuff. So whether you believe we went there or not,
how would an asteroid just?
But other planets have moons
that happens.
too.
No,
so.
Hold on. That happens all the time.
But with a flat planet?
Oh my!
No. And on that note, guys, we'll dive more into these conspiracy theories. I love these guys here beside me, and I love you guys too. Thank you so much for tuning in. I enjoyed this because it was completely just dudes talking.
We didn't have a script, hey, we're going to talk about this. We talked a little bit about, like, hey, we're going to get to know it, but it's just like we're just kind of a chill platform to just kind of, hey, what's up?
Yep.
Oh, also, Seth, you're going to eat more eruption wings than the rest of the turds.
And you got, what, 2, 3 left? 4 left?
Yeah, you got
Have
4
it.
I
left.
ate my 3. There's 2 in here for
Happy
each of you.
birthday.
Matt told me
to
before I got here, he
Uh.
said, hey man, I bought a lot for Seth. And
I did.
said,
I did
"Okay."
eat my 3, like
Yeah.
you said.
No, but those are your other 4.
Those-
It's your
yeah,
birthday
those are all for
present.
you.
I can wrap them in toilet paper if
Oh
you want
my
them.
gosh.
But, guys, thank you so much. And until next time, man, good luck. Have all the fun, and we'll catch you guys soon, okay?
Gucci.
Laters.